everybody. What's up? Colin here, and I'm joined by the wonderful Chris from Meta Football TV, and we are in charge of El Cockerel today. And I don't know how we got that. I don't know who thought it was a good idea to give us the keys to anything, but here we are. So, yeah, you ready to cause some trouble, Chris?
Always.
Yeah.
Always cause some trouble, especially with the pleasure of this amazing thing falling out the sky and being in control of this. Eltel, man, he's just some crazy man to let us do this.
Not smarter than his point.
Not smart
at
at all.
Hey, you can't go back. You can't go back in time. Once Pandora's out of the box, and then go back in. But yeah, so here we are. I just want to say big up to you, Chris, from Meta Football TV. Go over and sub if you haven't. I will make sure that link gets put into the chat.
Thank you very much, man.
Thank you very much, man. I'll do that throughout the show. I really do appreciate you being here. It means a ton to me. You make things easier for me because you're a smart man. So with that out of the way, with all the butt kissing out of the way, we'll exactly. It's going to turn real sexy in here if we don't steer that away. So Phil P was in the house way earlier saying, woo! And then we've got, of course, you leaving some wonderfully nice comments. And then we've got Jess, who hit the 500 mark yesterday. Big up to Jess.
Hey.
Congrats.
Big up, Bubbly.
Yes. And guys, everyone make sure you do go over and subscribe to Chris at Meta Football TV, which for one is just a great channel name. I was thinking about that earlier. That's a really good, you did a good job naming your channel, buddy. That's a good one.
I don't know if it's catchy. I thought, you know with Elon Musk and he's changing stuff about and all of this lot, and X went to Twitter went to X, and then Facebook. Well, that was after. I digress. But Facebook went to Meta and Instagram, and it's all Meta. And I thought, I gotta get onto that. So I thought, yeah, there's nothing meta about it, but it's from beyond football. Meta is, I think it's Greek. It's even in the description of my channel, and I can't even remember. But that's just me. But it means beyond. So it's not just football.
Yes.
It's not just football for the sake of football. It means beyond football. So
that's great.
So yeah.
That's awesome, man. Everybody, seriously, please make sure you go over there and subscribe. It would mean the world to me if you guys would. Who else we got? We got Potato Stew saying hello, everyone.
Hey.
Hope you're all well today. Stu, I'm doing good, man. Can't complain. I woke up, so that's great. Hope you're good, Potato Stew. And then we got Jishnu in the house saying, hi, brothers, big up. Jishnu, my man. Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you, always. So yeah, you might have seen the thumbnail. It was kind of inflammatory. A little bit on purpose, but I mean, not really. It was just showing. I think the title was the more inflammatory part, but I just wanted to display to everybody and the what we've gone through managers wise, and that wasn't even counting any of the interim managers. You know what I mean? In that photo, I'm thinking about trying to bring it up, but so I mean, there's actually more if you think about it, and so yeah, with that in mind. Well, first things first. I know the answer to this already. Here's what I was talking about. Here are the big three managers that we've had before we've landed at Ange Postecoglou. How are you feeling about this season so far? I know that's a really dumb question because I know the answer, but just for anybody out there who doesn't, you're happy, right, with the way things are going to a degree?
Yeah, I'm very happy. We've got a manager that plays attacking football. We've got a manager that speaks his mind, that knows how to handle press conferences. He knows how to handle dumb questions. Like there was a question the other day. I think it was after Newcastle pounding. Right, let's call it what it was. It was a pounding, but we have to dissect the pounding. But that's for another day. Are you worried about Arsenal and Man City? And he just like laughed. He said, no. Why would he be? I mean, he's a manager. He's got his ways. He's got his philosophy. He's got his confidence in himself. If he had to worry about that, he wouldn't be a manager. He wouldn't be a manager of 28 years. You know what I mean? He wouldn't have done it at the international level. It's just so silly. And these questions that come from the media is like, are you going to have, I don't know, a half heart attack on the way home because you know what's going to come to you? I mean, Jesus, it's just so stupid and so, I don't know, half-baked questions. It's just silly. He's almost 60 years old, this guy. He's been around the block and come back. You know,
exactly. People act like,
you know, he may not be Conte, he may not be Guardiola, he may not have that title, right? But it doesn't mean that he's not valid. You know what I mean? Come on,
absolutely. I think that he's cast aside, or at least opinions of him are much lower because of obviously, you know, the leagues that he's been, you know, he's coached in. But you brought up a good point when you said what he's done at international level. Winning that trophy with Australia was absolutely no small feat. Yeah, and Jishnu says, Colin, can we take let's take 5 minutes to laugh at Arsenal. Are scared? We will. We'll do that. I promise. I'm going to start that, and we'll come back because we're on one right now, Jishnu. Me and Chris we're on one. We got Carl in the house. Carl Simpson.
Carl Simpson.
He says, hello, gents. If people are nuts enough to think we should get rid of Ange, they need to go support another team. We have been rinsing and repeating for years. This is a proper rebuild. Come on, you Spurs.
Yeah.
Carl, 100%.
Yeah, the word I use, sorry, Colin, the word I use, just to link onto this comment, and thank Carl, that's amazing, is blueprint. You need a blueprint. You need an identity. You need to build off something, right? And it may be a shame that he's come here a bit late. But I think that things happen for a reason, and when they happen, it's for a reason. So maybe he's come to Spurs at the right time of our club's history, and the right time for him. You know, so
absolutely
things happen for a reason. So make it happen. Give him all the love and respect and backing that he needs, and just get the goddamn thing done, man. And just stop pissing about, fanning about with all these stupid, you know, I don't know, rubbish. Basically,
it's just reaction. It's just so reactionary.
Exactly, knee jerking. It's all knee jerking.
Yeah. And, I hate it.
Just come on. We respect everybody. I respect everybody, and I'm
same.
Listen, go. If you go to my Twitter account, right, and I'm humble like that. I don't brag, and I don't want to, you know, I don't like people coming to me and saying you this. I don't like it, and I know, well, there's someone out there that knows that I don't think highly of myself, and this person is always saying you can't do that. But on my Twitter account, it says I am unapologetically opinionated. I don't have to say sorry for my opinions. I say them as I feel them, as does everybody. Okay.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely.
There's nothing personal. There's nothing personal about opinions. Okay. There's nothing personal about having a go at someone or thinking that it's all half baked or it's all hot air or it's all reaction. You're reacting over a goddamn good season. Supposedly under someone that has absolutely no idea about tactics, no idea about the Premier League, no idea about any other concept of football, that doesn't train tactics according to Eric Dyer. Okay, so let's all take it into consideration. But Colin, sorry about that.
No, that was lovely. That's why I like having you on my channel, my man. And by the way, Jose's channel. If you haven't already subscribed to El Tal Cockerel, I'm just renting the space. Subscribe to El Tal Cockerel. If you're here and you're not subscribed, what the heck? But yeah, and just to kind of reiterate and to make clear to everybody, I'm absolutely, even though the title said sack the manager ? That actually, it's not what I think we should do. That's just something I've heard around a bit. And just that I wanted to talk about, just get a conversation, a dialogue going. Jishnu says, I'm 100% convinced that Ange knows the game better than Arteta and Ten Hag. I can see that in his tactics and his substitutions. Jishnu, you're singing.
Basically, if you want to look at the history of the two managers he's just mentioned, right? Arteta had a very up and down career as a footballer, right? Which sometimes they go hand in hand. Sometimes they have absolutely nothing to do with each other, right? Just because you've been a bad footballer or let's just not say the bad or worse or good or bad. If you haven't been a successful footballer, it doesn't mean you can be a good coach, right? Because look at Mourinho, for example. Okay. On the other hand, you can be Maradona, who some claim that is the best I don't think that, but that's my opinion. And he was an absolutely dreadful coach. Okay, so it cuts both ways. You have to just look at it. Arteta has his career as was up and down. He went everywhere. He went to PSG, went to Rangers. He was at Barcelona. He was God knows every team under the sun, and he's only started coaching really under Pep, under Juan Manuel Lillo is a philosopher of football, and he's Pep's number 2, right? And he didn't have a really successful managing career when he was at Spain or even in Mexico, but he's a philosopher and he knows how to do things, right? Ten Hag was very good at Utrecht. That's why he got his job at Ajax, but he was also at Bayern Munich second team when Pep was there. So he hasn't had an extensive career either, although you have to respect his journey as well. But if you want to look at it that way, Ange's got a much more extensive career than either of them. So it's just context.
Absolutely. And he was playing with the same rules, with the same resources and stuff as to a certain degree as everybody else. It's not like he was, at Celtic, that's a different story. But in the A League and the J League and stuff, it's not like at least from my understanding, had a lot more, resources than the teams around him. He just set things up well, was a good manager, had a good setup from top to bottom. Got the players to play for him, play his style. And that's one thing I wanted to also.
Sometimes it's a message. Sometimes it's a message, Sometimes something can be just inspiring to the player themselves, because a lot of players are not the same. I mean, you can have 25 players in a squad, and some might need a slap on the back of the head to get them motivated. Others might not need motivation. They're self-motivated, because to handle 25 is so complex, and you can't deal with them. I mean, what I'm saying is basic, but to me, I don't know what other people know, but or see or perceive, or they may know much more than I do. But to handle 25 as, I don't know, a CEO or a director of operations or whatever you want to call it in any business, in any line of anything, you've got to know your squad. You've got to know who's playing for you, who's working for you, right? And for example, you work for your company or whoever hires you, and maybe they feel that you need, I don't know, to be left alone, to be productive. Or maybe they feel, hey, Colin, how are you doing? Welcome, good afternoon. How are you doing, Colin? And that means that you're more productive. God knows, that depends on each person. So players are the same. They're exactly the same. They're people at the end of the day.
Very, very, very good points all around. Just want to get through some of these comments because they are coming thick and fast. Carl Simpson says that we lost 4-0 with 72% possession. We just need to get a decent striker, finish our chances. We will do tons better. Just a bad day at the office. Newcastle for sure. Yeah, 100%, Carl.
I'm sure. Definitely.
Individual mistakes. That's the thing that really gets me, is that you can kind of pinpoint the individual mistake in at least 3 of those 4 goals. But people still think that it's system related. Oh, another thing that makes me laugh, and I'm not trying to be mean to anybody, but the people that say that Ange has been found out, he's been playing the same way pretty much his entire coaching career. So if he's just now been found out, that is not good on the managers that he's been playing against. They should have had him found out a long time ago. So I don't really think that's the issue. Another great question from Jishi. I'm going to start that. Come right back to it. Audio Artisan saying afternoon chat. Hey. Chat. What up, brother? Good to see you. And then here's me saying, hit the likes, gang. Please, guys, hit them likes. We prefer the likes to be hit over here.
Smack that like up.
Then we got Todd Spurs saying, big up, you lovely people. What's wrong with Ange's manager? The guy's been here 5 minutes. I thought 90% of the fan base said it was a free hit this season as long as they saw progress. I guess not. Well, Todd Spurs, he fluffed up and he won his first 10 games. And then everyone's expectations shot up to the moon.
Yep.
And that's he accidentally did too well at the beginning, and now everybody's pissed off. But guys, one thing I wanted to do, I wanted to bring up some stats. I'm definitely not the stat man, but I usually have something in the title and then barely mention it. So I kind of feel like I have to dive a little bit deeper into it, or else I'm a fraud. So let's take a look. I just want to talk. First seasons are tough in a new league and a new team, and so I just wanted to kind of compare some people's first seasons all together and just take a look. That's never a bad thing to do. To take a look at stuff. So first, we'll take a look at Pep's first season stats.
Let's just see it. Let's
see it. Look, Man City, 16-17. Yeah, look at that. Hey. But that's the way that they have that listed. Oh my God, that looks like it's 23 wins.
9 draws and 6 losses.
Yeah, that's a good first season. That's a great first season right there. That's Pep Guardiola. That's one of the best managers in world football. With a great team. But that's a pretty good first season. That's not bad, right? Yeah. We'll move to the Klopp's first season. Let me get the banner changed down here too. There's his first season with Liverpool, 15-16. That was a good year for managers. We got some good managers in that year. But look, so 13 wins, 9 losses, and 8 draws. That's pretty great. Hey, and
but that's out of, you got 30 games though. You got out of 30 games, not out of 38. But
why?
I'm not sure.
They're all out of 30 games. Oh well, that's weird. Well, we'll pretend like I didn't just really. But
regardless, that's okay. At the end of the day, that's how they ended up.
Right. So, and the points per game thing is Anyway, so and then we'll pull up the same 30 games thing for Arteta again. Why did that happen like that?
Eighth as well. Yeah, there you go.
There you go. Yeah, absolutely. Very, very strange that they came up that way. 38 for Pep.
Only City.
20 for him. That's super strange. Well, guys, here's Ange's first season. And look at this. So far, 32 matches played, 18 wins, 6 losses, 8 draws. I don't know. I just think that if you look at that in context, we're doing amazingly well.
What's there to complain about?
There really isn't anything to complain about, except for people that just think
unless
that.
You want
to. Exactly. You've got to. I think some people also. I don't know. It's. I don't want to say it's fun to be mad because it's not really what I mean. But it's sort of addicting. You get kind of mad at stuff and angry, and then you know what I mean. It's easy to stay in that spot. I get that 100%. And to anybody who, doesn't agree, all good. No worries. I just wanted to get my 2 cents out there. But look at this. It's Ellie. She says, hello, lads. Colin and Chris. Love you 2 guys. I'd hire you as intelligence is key. Boom. Look at that. Good stuff.
I don't know about intelligence. I don't know. You overestimate me at least.
I've just got I'm just super nice. That's my only quality. That's what I try really hard to do. Potato Stew, though, says, I agree there's a blueprint, but opinionated is the wrong word, as is characterized by dogmatism. Never good. Interesting.
Wow.
Interesting word.
You're getting deep. That's deep.
Yeah, we're delving deep into some topics today, and I like it.
Dogma.
We win 8 and drew 3, I actually call. Not bad, though.
We win 8 and drew 3 actually. I'm not sure I picked that one up. Explain that one, Ellie. I can't understand that one either. I'm sorry, darling. But,
there she goes. He won 8 and drew 2. Sorry, not bad call. Still broke a Prem record. Yeah. I was saying he won his first 10 matches. I'm getting it now.
Yeah. Well, 10 undefeated. 10 undefeated.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you. And look at this. Jess is in the house saying, smash the likes up. Hope you're doing well, Jess.
Smash the likes up.
Smash them likes. Look at this. Some congrats going around to Jess. Loving it. We got absolutely give it up to Jess. And if you haven't already been to her channel, I'm sure everybody here has. She's everywhere. But look at this. You put the link in it.
Oh man,
you're the man. Yeah. Everybody, if you haven't subscribed to Jess, for one, she talks football, and it's a good time over there. It's a wild time. It's sort of like if Howard Stern did a football show. It's really cool over there. It's really cool. You'd like it.
That's a new one. That is.
hey, I think it's a good description. It's apt. Carl saying this has been a great season so far. Carl, I agree wholeheartedly. I mean, even the best teams get absolutely curb stomps at times. You know what I mean? That takes some really heavy defeats. It just happens, and after it happens, everyone gets real upset, and I get that, But it's just emotions. It's just emotions, and you wake up tomorrow, you feel a little bit better. You wake up, it's just give it some time. JBG Johnny Bethma Green afternoon, my China plates. Hey,
hello, mate.
Yeah, hey, buddy. How are you? Hope you're good. We got Lee Smithy Smith.
Hey, Milfy.
I can't. I don't know the tune to this song.
Oh man, I just.
Tottenham's new Brazilian wearing white and blue. He looks good. He looks fine.
Oh my. You're lacking, man. You're lacking.
Yeah. It's good though. It's good. Well, hey, I wanted to let everybody know. I found the deleted James Madison song. So, just so that everyone maybe can get a little hype about something. If you want some excitement in your life, the James Madison song is back. I found it. It was on my old computer. So yes. Yeah. Ellie says, I'm not complaining about Ange. He got me at mate. I love it. Good stuff. Big love, Ellie. And hey, if you'd like to jump on, Ellie, let me know. I can send you the linky link. Maybe you already responded. Hold on. Let's see. No. So Ellie, if you're interested in coming on, let me know. Potato Sue says, I have one complaint that Chris might like to answer regarding Ange not wanting set piece coaches. Potato Sue, I will have to wait for him to get back, obviously, but we will absolutely ask him that question. I'm not sure if it said he doesn't want one. I had heard that there was some kind of a disagreement, let's call it, between Ange and the current set piece coach we had. They both seem like really strong characters, so it doesn't seem out of the realm of possibility. But Chris, do you see Potato Stew's question here for you?
Yeah, sorry, I just had to pop out there. Chris might like to answer regarding Ange not wanting set piece coaches.
See,
I don't know whether he wants them or not. All I know is that a possible spat with Giovanni Villo. I don't know the ins and outs, and the main thing I like to do is keep quiet when I don't know, and because I don't know, I can't answer. Right, and there's nothing wrong with saying I don't know. Okay, so I don't know what happened there, but perhaps, and like he wanted to bring the guy Mackenzie, I think that's what his name is, from Celtic, and he couldn't. He's left with, or he started the season with, and until next season, he's got what he's got to work with. Okay, so he's had to use Mason, and he's had to use Jedinak to whatever capabilities or abilities they have, right? And he's basically, stuck his hand in his pocket and said, right, I've got this coin and I've got this coin. What can these coins do for me? And I've got these players and these qualities and this, and they're good for this and they're not good for that. And you just have to see what we're doing. We have to see what we can do and how far we can go with what we have. Set piece this, set piece that. Specialist, yes, specialist, no. You can ask the question, should a team have a specialist? Okay, if you want one, great. Would that make any difference? No. If your player is not driven, determined, if he's just going to let the attacker walk right through you, what good is it? But yes, in the global aspect of it, of course, as many specialists as possible to do the basic bare minimum. Of course, it's gonna add to the quality of the output. But if the player isn't there, he's just not there. It doesn't make a difference.
You can't coach something into somebody that they don't even have a little bit of.
I might have to jump out a minute because I've seen something that I don't like.
Good.
I might have to jump out. I'll come back in a minute.
No problem.
I do apologize.
No, take care. Speak with you.
No. It's technical. It's not nothing from. It's nothing chat related. Okay. It's not nothing with the program. It's technical issue.
Gotcha. I thought maybe something bad happened.
No.
All right, no,
nothing bad. It's technical on my behalf, and I made a mistake yesterday, and I don't want it to happen again. I want to fix that, and but that's 2 seconds.
No problem, man. I'm gonna get through some comments. Yep, sounds good, Christopher. Oh no, I'm too big. Let me change that. Yikes. There we go. That's a little better. Okay. Carl though is saying, I love Jess's quiz nights. That is fun. Absolutely. And then there's Jess picking him up. And then here is the link to. Oh, well, it's not fully there. Let me get that fixed. But you guys are currently watching El Tel Cockerel. If you haven't already subscribed, do so. Just do it. That way you can type. You can get your chats in. Potato Stew says he's calling Jess Howard next time. Love it. And Jess is saying, smash the likes up. Big up to you all. Great community. You can't beat a compliment like that. Thank you very much. Top Spurs pointing out that Mason and Mile Jedinak are our set piece coaches currently. Yeah, from what I understand. And it's weird that Jedinak isn't, I don't know, you'd think he would be amazing. But sometimes being good at things, like Chris said at the beginning of the show, does not necessarily equal that you're going to be good at coaching them. Just like being good at coaching doesn't necessarily mean you're good at that thing specifically to begin with. Those who can't do coach, right, is the same. Then we got Ryan G in the house. What up, bro? Hopefully you are good. Hopefully you're good. And he's back. Ladies and germs, it is Chris.
Hi.
Hey, man.
Thank you. I do apologize for that. I think I have solved the issue. And I do apologize to the person affected. And I hope it didn't repeat itself. But it's techie. It's not anything personal. So, yeah, Ryan, my favorite Northerner. How are you, man?
So we got Ryan, just a harmless potatoes in the building. What up, potato? And then we got Potato Stew. Well, there's lots of potatoes in here, but he's thanking you for that answer on set piece coaches, which I thought was great.
Oh, the one about the set pieces, yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was great. I thought that was wonderful. And you're right. And you're right. We really, my memory's garbage. But no, and you're right too, in that we really do need to do what we can with what we have right now. And he'll probably bring in more coaches and more coaches in the transfer period. So that's my thought there. And I'm sure you're kind of in the same way.
Okay. I am happy to answer any questions, whether you like the answer or not. But mate, I don't get paid for this, so.
It's true. That's true. We're definitely going to get our money's worth. I had to pay him a lot of money to be here today, guys. He's not a cheap guest. Let's just put it that way.
Ain't not cheapskate.
Top Spurs says, though, the only way I knew how to defend a set piece was win the ball and an attacking set piece, win the ball. Hope that doesn't confuse things. Makes a lot of sense to me.
It's as simple as that.
You break it down to its simplest. Yeah, absolutely. And look who it is. It is Nick. Yep. What up? He says, morning, y'all. Morning, brother. Hope you are well, my man. Hanging tough, being tough. You're a good dude. Hope to see you on the next member show. And then look, we got another member, Lee Smithy Smith, saying, I love Jess in general. She's a good Spurs fan. That's good. That's good stuff. Now. Yeah,
she is. Did it. I think she's been a better Spurs fan since about 2 Saturdays ago. But then, yeah, there's reasons for that. Big up, Smithy. Big up.
Yes,
you're all great people.
So many good people. And look, one of my good buddies, Pranvat, is in the house. What's up, man? How's things in United land?
Yeah, we get
my favorite United fan. Yeah, absolutely. I love it.
He's probably laughing now. Pranvat, stop laughing. Stop laughing. We can see you, Pranvat. Stop laughing. Anyway,
quit it. And then Ryan G says that he's good and he hopes we're both well. Yeah, man. Yeah. Not bad. Yeah. Can't complain.
All the better for seeing you, mate.
Look at that. So, some things I wanted to talk about. First of all, congrats to El Tel on 350. He's passed the 350 mark. Onwards and upwards. Here we go. Choo-choo. This train's never stopping, baby. We're taking this thing to the moon. So anyway, big up to everybody who has subscribed and back. Big up to everyone who subscribed. And if you haven't, please do so. It doesn't cost any money and it's helpful. It's a great thing to do. And it helps our brains. It helps release some dopamine in our brains. So that's always good. Look at this. LOL, my man. It was really great talking to you, mate. Good stuff.
Yeah, I'll make him laugh. Yeah.
And then Lee says, big up Jose Senor. Hopefully he sees that later. I don't know for sure if he's watching. He is at work. He had to travel for work. I'm giving away his personal information, but he had to travel. And so because of that, he's asked me to front a couple shows. And I thought, yeah, why not? And then he said, and 15 predictions this week. Wow. Yeah, predictions this week is going to be nuts. I hope everybody is ready for that. Hey, you're missing an L on this link for Jose. My man.
I'm missing an L.
Yeah, it is Hotel Cocker.
Oh, well, he's a cocker. He's a cocker spaniel.
Oh, nice. You're calling him a dog? I'm going to tell him. I don't think he likes cocker spaniels. Man. Ryan G says, congrats, Jose. Absolutely. We will make sure that he sees all of these congrats messages. And also, yeah, if anyone has any questions for either Chris or I, fire away. And with that said, I had one start. So let me go ahead and look at this. This is from Jishnu saying, Chris, do you think that Xavi mismanaged 10-man Barcelona yesterday? Was it necessary to sub Lamine when Barca going for a low block and in need of a ball carrier up front for a potential counter-attack threat?
Well, let's unpack that. Do I think that Xavi mismanaged 10-man Barcelona yesterday? When you're getting done by PSG that has the firepower up front, right? You can't just wing it with 3 at the back, okay? Because you need at least 1 for cover. So you can't play 3 versus 3 at the back. So you need 1 more. So definitely it makes sense to bring an attacker off for a defender, especially when your midfield is the motor of your team. Who is the most inexperienced player that you have up front? Lewandowski, Rafinha, or Lamine Yamal? Sorry, Lamine, you're getting subbed.
Sorry, Lamine.
It makes sense. Do you know what I mean? No,
I'm following you.
Those are two. Yeah, there's 2 or 3 reasons I've already given there already. So now, was it necessary to sub Lamine? Yes. Going for a low block. What I don't understand, when Barca going for a low block and in need of a ball carrier up front for a potential counter-attack threat. I don't think Barca are playing a low block. Barca have never played a low block and never will play a low block because it is not in their identity. I'm not sure, Jishnu. I understand and respect the question. I need a bit more clarity to understand that. But I understand the ball carrier part. But as I said before, he's the weakest link. He's the weakest common denominator of the 3, the least with experience, possibly the most technical. But you want experience over technicality. And I'm sorry, but he's the one that's getting taken off in order to bolster your defense after losing a defender. It makes total sense. So mismanaged? No, I don't.
There you go. Very concise. Very concise answer.
Yeah, concise. I'm straight to the point. That's just me. No,
you're good. You're a smart man. I like it. Smart guy. But yeah, any more questions, guys, get them in. You've got Coach Chris here. And for how long? About another 30 minutes. And so
let me just check. Yeah, about half an hour, yeah.
Yeah, we got him a little longer. So yeah, all is well, all is good. There it is. There is the link to El Tel Cockerel.
There you go.
If you somehow found your way here without this link, somehow now you have
amazing.
It. And subscribe to it. Look at this. So we've got some. Lick it, love it, do whatever you want to.
Use it, really. Use it.
Yeah, love it and leave it. Mia is in the house. So speaking of all of that stuff, Mia's here. Innuendos, Mia's perfect. She's got tons of those. She's great at that. Speaking of Mia, we've got another wonderful Spurs fan in the house. One of the crew, one of our YouTube family as well. Leo, the Mile High Hotspur. He says, yo, my homies, hoping we're having a blessed day. I was saying earlier, Leo, I woke up. So that is in and of itself a blessing, right? So there you go. We got it.
Yes. Main man.
Chris Agambar is also here. What's up, Chris? He's saying big up Colin and all in the chat. And Chris too, right? No, I'm just kidding. And then we got Mia, who liked my idea of licking the like button. Audio Artisan says, will Jose ever do a dog rap to go with Colin's cat rap? We found out that Jose is a hip hop head. I had no idea. I would have never known. So we can actually see about that. I'll see if we can get him to record something. If you haven't heard my cat rap, count yourself lucky. It's not very good. I made it during COVID lockdown. Whenever they told us it was going to be 2 weeks, I was losing my mind after 2 weeks, and I was like, I need to do something. So I made this rap about just beating up people if they didn't like cats, and it was awesome. But look at this, Charlie Spurs N17. What's up, Charlie? What's up, Charlie? He says, "Big up Jose for being one of my 8 followers on X." Boom, Jose's awesome. He's a good dude, and if you drop your X handle in here, you can have 9 followers. I would be glad to follow you, my man.
Your X as in Twitter, not as in your exes. We don't want anything to do with that, mate.
Yeah, my wife might get mad. And look at this, sub to Mia. And there is her link, her wonderful channel, Spurs Between the Lines. Check it out. She's going to be back making new content soon. We can't wait. And then she posted this lovely face, which is pretty gross.
Oh, I know what that means. It's all right.
We got Chris Agenbar saying also, Chris.
Listen, too little, too late, mate. Too little, too late.
I had to remind you. And look, Mia, yes. Whoa, Ben Kaufman's in the house. Coffee company. We've literally got everybody here. And then here's Leo's link. Make sure you subbed over to him. I think I missed a question. I did. Jay Ashraf has another question for Chris.
Cool.
Would a coach like Ange last managing Barcelona? And what sort of coach do Barca need to go for next season?
Ange Postecoglou.
Barcelona.
I would love Ange at Barcelona. I would, because he's got everything. Does a perfect manager exist? No. I said that in the video that I put up the other day on the channel. Does a perfect manager exist? No. But he ticks all the boxes for me. Xavi is very volatile. Xavi gets sent off more times than he's on the sideline. I mean, he's too erratic. He's too volatile. And but Xavi is an icon. He's a legend of Barcelona. I just don't think that he can cut the mustard like Luis Enrique did, or Guardiola did, or the late Tito Villanova, who was Pep Guardiola's second, who passed away a number of years ago now. But Ange, to have Ange there, his way, the way that he just holds himself up in public, and he just has a way. He just, you just feel it. He might not be the best looking man, but he can talk the talk. You know what I mean?
I think he's cute. I know.
That's up to you, mate. I'm not getting into that. Clip it. Somebody clip this goddamn thing. Clip it. Not for me, mate. But he just has a way with dealing with stupidity and with professionalism and with everything that goes in between. And he knows what he's talking about. He ticks all the boxes for me. He does. He really would. But I think he would last managing Barcelona. I don't know why. I don't know why he would. There's talks that Rafa Marquez, which is the Mexican ex-Monaco, Barcelona, and current Barcelona B or Barça Athletic coach, is tipped to be the next Barca coach, because Xavi has said, that he's not continuing, whether we win everything or whether we don't win it. He's not continuing because the environment's too toxic, because what he does is not valued, and there's no point. His health is not, is too valuable. He loves Barcelona, but not as much as his own health, his own family. He's leaving. There's nothing that anyone can do. But what sort of coach? I would like Nagelsmann. I think Nagelsmann ticks all the boxes as well. He's young. He's got this. But yeah, I mean, that kind of attacking, free-flowing football, those kind of managers. And thank you for the question as well. Love it.
Absolutely, yeah. No, I think he would be a good manager at Barcelona as well. I mean, from what I know about Barcelona and having watched a handful of matches in my lifetime, everyone is coming in right now, guys. We've got everybody. Look at this. Look at this.
Well, that's because of you. It's not because of me. That's because of you.
No, Raktos Madness. I like to say your name like that. What's up, my guy? We had a wonderful time on the show yesterday. I'm going to grab your link too. Team Tottenham Go. 1 second. Let me grab that. But I hope you're doing good, my man. And then look at this. What else we got? Went to the KC Miami game at Arrowhead this weekend. Saw several Spurs kids. Nice, man. Nice. MLS is a growing league. Predictions for the Champions League games tonight. You just want some betting tips, don't you? You just want the betting tips.
Predictions. Yeah. 2 will win and 2 will not. And so that's basically what the prediction is.
Yeah, that's a good one. And there might even be some draws. But I get what you're saying.
Through. I mean,
2 teams will go through to the next. Yeah.
So, 2 will go through and 2 will fall to the wayside. Ryan, but thanks very much for that question.
We got you, Ryan. We're here to answer your questions, of course. Potato Stew, is that saying the Spanish league is a step down from the Premier League?
I think it is.
Really?
But that's just my opinion. Yeah, because you've got less money. Only for 2. You've got only 2 clubs, which are Real Madrid and Barcelona, that are over 140, 150, even probably 170 million euros just in TV. Then you've got the rest that are scrambling for crumbs. Well, you've got a bigger repartition. You've got a bigger spread in England, so that makes it for a fairer, more competitive league, right? And those that don't get more crumbs will probably complain anyway. But you compare it to Spain. England are better in that sense. You get a hell of a lot of money if you win the promotion from the Championship to the EPL. I mean, like, a ton of money. You don't get that in Spain as much. So, I mean, EPL is just and it's the home of football. I mean, you can't take that away from football history. So, that in and of itself is the brand. So.
Boom. You heard the man. You guys heard the man. I love it. It's if Chris says it, it's the truth. I wish I could find. I used to have an old broken mic I would drop whenever people would just when it warranted it, but I don't have it. I can't find it right now. So
I wish I could do that. I wish I could do that on so many things, but I can't.
Oh man, it's awesome. It's fun. You need to get yourself an old broken microphone so that you can drop it because it is tons of fun. Jazz Fusion though says Tottenham managers are like complaining about the weather here. Don't like it? Give it a couple hours. It'll change. And I hope that's not the case much longer, man. I'm hoping that we've learned that this manager merry-go-round is not the way to go. That it's not the future. That it's not sustainable. It's not the answer.
And if it were to be, at least be consistent in the next one, because there's no point in going from Nuno to Mourinho to Conte to Pochettino to Ange to who's going to be the next one, Bob the Builder.
And that actually brings us perfectly into my next question. So I was going to say if Ange were to go, perhaps to Liverpool or something. I don't think it's going to happen, right? But I just like hypotheticals. It's fun. If Ange were to go, who's the manager you, and this is to you and to the chat, would want at Spurs?
Go for it, chat. Feel that chat.
And while everyone's working on that, I got a couple more people to say hi to. I don't think we said hi to Bobby K yet.
Hey,
Bobby K is in the house. What is up, Bobo? Good to have you, my man. Who else we got? Oh, there was another question for you, Chris. Has Iniesta taken his badges? Where is he now? And could he come back to Barca? We can put that in for a second while everyone tells us what coach they would like. Yeah.
That's 3 in 1, man. You only get one question, Bob. Rob.
We can call him Bob. I bet some people call him Bob.
Yeah, I faux pas. Did I faux pas? Robert. I don't know whether as I said before, I can't say what I don't know. I don't know whether he has, but I wouldn't be surprised if he has. But then when you're an elite player, you do get up to the pro and the elite levels already. You don't have to take your C's and your B's. You already get that as a given, so to speak. If you want to pursue that in your career after football, so he's probably got something like a pro or an elite already. But yeah, you do have to take them. Where is he now? Last time I heard he was still in Japan. I think he's still in Japan. Vissel Kobe, sorry. So yeah, And could he come back to Barca? You know, I was surprised that he didn't form part of the technical staff with Xavi, and because there were rumors over here in Spain that he might actually stop playing at the end of a certain season, and he would join Xavi when Xavi's name came up. So it could have been at the end of last season then, but he kept on playing and whatever it was, so he didn't join. But yeah, could he come back to Barca? I suppose, but then I can't answer that 100% for you, Rob. But thank you very much for the question. Thank you.
Rob's awesome. Big up to Rob.
Big up,
and
Rob.
I want yes, and guys, seriously though, if Ange were to leave, if Ange were to go, who do you think would be a good manager to take his spot? I don't think there's a lot of great managers available right now on the market. And like you said, Chris, if we were to get a manager, it would have to be a manager that plays an attacking style of football, because if not, we've wasted an entire season of preparation, of learning, and I think firing him would obviously, or him leaving would obviously kind of have the season as a slight waste anyway. But if we got a manager that played similar football, it would at least similar soccer. It would at least help in that regard. But there are some answers here, and I love it. So let's see what we got. I have never heard of Mata. Have you? Where does he coach?
Thiago Motta is Bologna. He's ex-Barcelona, ex-Atletico Madrid, ex-Inter Milan. He played under Mourinho. He was at Genoa, and
if he
now he's
played
at Bologna.
Mourinho, though, maybe. How's his style? Is he pretty attacking?
He was a defensive mid, very rugged, very
nice.
He'd get very rugged, very defensive, very he'd get stuck in. But then he's doing an amazing job at Bologna, and he's revolutionizing football over there with the tactic. We complain about tactics at Spurs because Ange seems to not do anything. And Jesus, you don't want to get Motta at Spurs, because that will confuse the hell out of everybody. I mean, that is like 27 different tactics before the first pass has even been connected with the receiver. I mean, that is just stupid, because when one falls, the other one has to move, and the other one, and it's like, what's going on? That is crazy. What Motta is doing is crazy. But then if it works, that's why Juve want him. Juve want him to replace Allegri. So that is how good he is.
Crazy's good. Crazy's good in football.
Yeah.
Crazy is revolutionary, and things change, and it's all cyclical, and it'll all come back, and it'll all the back three was the popular formation, and then it was really out of favor, and now it's back, and it'll all be cyclical. But hopefully, remember that weird. Sorry about that. Remember that formation amazing, that it was Sheffield United when they had Chris Wilder as their manager.
Chris Wilder at Sheffield United?
Yeah, I think so. Let me just make sure I'm not wrong. But it was when they first came into the Premier League. Make sure I'm not on drugs. Yep. Okay, he's the manager of the Premier League club Sheffield United in 2008. Yeah, so this was awesome.
Yeah, he exactly what I was looking for.
Yeah. But he plays with this insane formation that has the center backs join the attack like almost every time that they are in attack. It's insane. It's this insane formation that I've never seen before. It's because they got like inverted center backs that like push up the pitch. Very, very weird.
Don't go there. Don't go to inverted. Don't mention inverted, because you get blocked from YouTube.
I know. No, but it's insane. You should, if you ever are just bored and want to check out like you should watch a vid on his tactics. Apparently, they found a lot of teams were just sitting back against them, and to counter these low blocks of 10 or 11 men or whatever, they had to think of this really strange formation to get more players involved. It's pretty cool. But back to my question that everyone was answering. We got Rackboss Madness. What up, brother? I think either Unai Emery or Thomas Frank would be good, but I love Ange. Unai Emery is a good – I hate saying it because I don't like the guy. But Emery is a good coach. That much is undeniable.
Emery's a good coach. He used to be
He
a
is.
player. He wasn't an elite, like a top level player. He
Seems
played
like
second
that's the way
division
it
football in
goes.
Spain.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, so I think seems that's the way it goes. That managers usually aren't great players.
Listen, sometimes it's just being at the right place at the right time and being something that a manager detects in something. Because if you go back to Guardiola, we wouldn't have Guardiola today probably if Cruyff didn't take him out of the B team. And he had no physical attributes, he had no speed, he had absolutely nothing, but he knew how to play the ball. He had vision, and he had ball capabilities. So that was basically what Cruyff saw in him to promote him to the first team. And if he didn't see that, all right, we wouldn't have Guardiola. Liverpool would probably have more leagues. Arsenal would probably have more leagues, and Man City wouldn't be. Do you know what I mean? It's all a chain of that. And but I mean, it's just so nuanced sometimes, and it's not so clean cut, two-dimensional football that a lot of people see, and I used to see as well. I used to see football this way, and why didn't you bloody pass, and you bloody, and this, that, and the other, and you just get mad at. But at the end of the day, you've got to give it context, and if you don't give it context, it's pointless. But yeah, Thomas Frank is a good one. He's been doing a great job at Brentford. Unai Emery is a serial winner. He's done a great job, but apparently he's not. He has been on the cards at Barcelona as well, as a Chevy replacement. But there is no doubt that he will continue at Aston Villa because he's invested in the project. So he's not moving from Villa. But those two options are good for Spurs. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. They're totally sound, valid and capable managers.
Jazz Fusion here says Marcelo Gallardo is Homer Simpson's definition of alcohol, the cause and solution to life's problems. It's funny.
Yeah.
It's funny stuff.
Nice analogy.
Todd Spurs says, get the next manager off YouTube. There are plenty of candidates. I love it. Good shit. And yeah, Bologna are currently in Champions League positions in Italy. Badass.
Yes. I think they're fourth Bologna.
Nice. That's impressive. Rob Belcher, though, says, thanks, Chris. For me, Iniesta was the embodiment of Pep's Barca, my favorite player.
Yeah. You're welcome, Rob.
Stu saying, Southgate? No, please, God, don't ever do that to me. God. Graham Potter, that's a decent idea.
Harry, no, I think he's Harry Potter.
Oh, yeah, he's busy. He's an Auror. He fights against bad wizards. He's got a job doing that for the Ministry of Magic, so he probably wouldn't have time to manage Spurs, I don't think. My camera's being stupid.
Listen, unfortunately, Potter didn't get the time, didn't get the recognition at Chelsea, and he's got a bad rap. So imagine getting into Spurs. Right, one, he's an ex-Chelsea boss. Right, two, he wasn't given the time, so he's got an X over his name because he was shit. He can't say the rest of the word, but he was awful at Chelsea, right? So are we going to accept him? No, for those two reasons. Is he a valid manager? Of course he is.
Yeah, absolutely.
I haven't got a crystal ball, but he's a valid manager.
Definitely. I wanted to say hey to Jamie Wooten real quick. Jamie Wooten's in the building. Sheffield United fan. We were just talking about Chris Wilder and that Chris wacky Wilder system he plays with getting the center backs involved in the attack so much. But yeah, if you have any insight onto the formation that you guys play and you wanted to put that into a comment, I would literally be over the moon because just would like to hear more. But I missed some stuff. Yeah. Potter, Emery. What else we got? Oh, and this Ryan G asked if we would take De Zerbi at Spurs. I would. I think he's a good manager.
I think he's a very good manager, and if Bayern Munich want him, and it's not just a whim of like, oh, we need someone. Oh, what about this guy, Italian guy that plays? Well, what's his name? Well, him. Yeah, he'll do. I don't think it's that. If Bayern Munich has identified De Zerbi as a possible candidate, that I don't think they're going to explore because I think they're going to get Nagelsmann back. But De Zerbi, I would take him. But then, and Pep absolutely adores the way De Zerbi plays. So if that is enough recognition for me, you know what I mean? Yeah, if Pep says yes and that's on your CV, you're hired. Do you know what I mean? So
I think Pep likes our boy.
He likes a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he just loves
they met in
Australia
sometime.
or Japan or some shit like that. Whenever I think it was Japan.
Oh, Japan,
I think it was
Japan.
when he was coaching
Japan.
Yokohama.
Marinos.
Yeah, you're right. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Danny Rumsey is saying smash a like and subscribe, please. Big up, Danny.
Big up, Danny.
Yeah, hope you're doing well, my man.
Hey up, that.
What does this talk about Ange leaving, says Brian McGuire. There's just people who have been talking about it, basically, and saying that he doesn't have a clue and that, we're going to he's been found out and next season's going to be even worse. You should see some of the shit I've been reading. It's unbearable almost. But like we said, everyone has their own opinions, and I totally get that. And no one's wrong. Exactly. But
Brian, do you want Ange to leave? Do you want Ange to leave? Do you think it's a good idea? Do you think it's all smoke and mirrors? Do you think it's ludicrous that the fans are calling for his head? Or would you back him in 4 years, or even possibly give him more?
It's a vocal minority, I'm sure, of fans saying that he should go. I don't think that anywhere near even half of fans want him out, I don't think. But still, the fact that it's approaching that, or could be approaching that, is scary. But big up James, the Tottenham fan. Yes, James. Good lad.
James
Everyone. Yes. James Mackey's. And then we got Jess again saying smash the likes up. Apparently y'all aren't doing it. Come on now. Fans would take Unai with his Gunners ties. I mean, if he got us a trophy, I think we'd take him. And he probably would. Some trophy, some cup competition, we'd win under him. He just loves it.
If that were the case, no one would sign anybody. Because, do you know what I mean? It's just absolutely stupid. If you can get a guaranteed manager in that more or less that can do a job and can stabilize a club and can give you opportunities to do the business, why wouldn't you take him? I mean, it's just so stupid. I mean, but anyway, that's just my opinion. It's just so silly.
It's good.
Unless it's something
too much tribalism.
It is, unless it's something that he's done really, really badly against your club and he's offended you, and I can understand that.
Sol Campbell,
for example, but sometimes even though diehard fan, Spurs fan, can he actually look past that? I'm sure that there are some that are just level-headed and say, look, this is what happened. We can look past it. Blah blah blah.
People make mistakes. He was dumb and scared and was afraid of the reaction he would get from people and blah blah blah. Yeah,
we can. Yes,
you can rationalize anything if you
can rationalize anything, and exactly.
You should sometimes. You should.
Emery is Spanish. What's he got to do with Spurs or Arsenal? He was there. He didn't understand the culture of the club. That's why he got sacked. And would he come to Spurs if he wins a league? If he wins a couple of cups with it, I'm sure nobody would remember his Arsenal ties. Then
boom, mic drop again. Good shit. Jamie Wooten saying Chris Wilder, he played the same back all game, 3 at the back. All teams we used to play 4-4-2 all the time. I can't understand why same teams week in, week out. This is why we were at the bottom. Shit, man. I really thought he was playing some swashbuckling football there for a while. When you guys, that first season, y'all were in the Premier League. It was a while back. That season, y'all were in the Premier League. You guys looked good when you first came up. So wonder what happened. Wonder what happened. It is almost time. We are almost at our end of Chris time, everyone. Ryan G just to get out. Ryan G says, I think it's crazy to want him out right now. He needs more time plus players. And Jamie Wooten is looking at the clock for 6:30 because that's when he's off work. Well, you don't have too much longer to go, my man. Just hold on out. You can make it. And last thing, yes to all the above. He leaves when his contract is up. Remains my guess. Good stuff.
Would you have Jazz? Would you have him on if he were willing to stay on? If everything was more or less stable, regardless of having won anything or not, because that's not a given. He's done a great job. We're playing good football. Everything is in sync. Would you have him on further, or say for longer than the 4 years? If you were happy, if you were,
I think.
Well, not just to Jazz, for everybody in the chat.
Yeah.
What about those? Because 4 years is not. You could be here for longer.
Absolutely. And look at this lovely comment. Thank you, Chris, for your time. Says Potato Stew. I also thank you, Chris, for your time. It's been wonderful. And it looks like I think I've got 2 more minutes with you. Do you think Madison should be dropped?
Do I think? Listen. I can't say that. I can't say, because the only one that knows that is Angel, and I know it's very cliched, and he's the one that I'm not the manager of that club. Why? On what pretenses should he be dropped? Current form, the eye test, because we're getting annoyed with him because he doesn't do that killer, pass. That's not up to me to determine, or you, or anyone that's watching this, or it's up to them and their sensations and their feelings and their perceptions. For me to say that, yes, he should be dropped, no, he shouldn't be dropped, and Bissouma should start, and no, he shouldn't. Mate, I'm no one to say yes or no. And if I do that, that will just be an opinion based on hot air. So I'd rather give it context. Is he the best passer of the ball in our team? Yes. I'm not saying yes or no. I'm just saying, is he the best? Is he the second best? Can he do what we expect of him? If he's on his day, is he one of the best? Has he made us happy in the past? Can he do what? Well, those are the questions.
Can he improve?
And at the end of the day, I reach my conclusion. But do you know what I mean? It's difficult. It's difficult to.
Yeah, absolutely. Kuva's in the house. Kuva 99, everybody. Kuvs, if you have free time and you want to come chat with me, let me know via WhatsApp, and I will send you a linky link. But yeah, Chris, with that, I don't want to keep you longer than you're allowed.
I've got 3 minutes.
Nice. Well, Kuva says Madison is you're focused. You're hyper focused. I like it. Efficient. Madison is the only creative player we have worth a damn. Need to play his way back into form. Honestly, you're right. People will say to play Kulu there. Kulu, he just doesn't. It's just not the same. The Madison that we had at the beginning of the season, when the whole team was flying, when Ange was cooking, we need that Madison back. That Madison is leagues above any form that we get out of Kulu in that position, in my opinion. Mark Cook says, just opinion, Chris. Always. Yeah, opinions are good.
No, of course. But if you're referring to, if you just want my opinion,
I think that's it.
I'm not sure. But if you just want my opinion, drop him. I wouldn't drop him, because he's, as Kuva just said, he's the only creative player that we've got that's worth anything. And if he's on his day, he can do what we need him to do. Because Lo Celso, I was on Spurs King TV last night, and I said, look, Lo Celso, and I agreed with Ash Matic that, and I detected this a long time ago. He's too left-footed, and when you're too left-footed of anything, you take too much time, and if you take too much time on the ball, you're going to get hounded down. And what you don't want to do when you get hounded down, okay, is a turnover, loss of ball, a regain from your opposition. Okay, so I don't want GLC there, because he's not the man for me in that respect. So Madders, unfortunately, and he knows this, I think, which is part of the fact of his complacency, he hasn't got any opposition. He's got no one there to actually challenge him and say, oi, don't slip up, because if not, Ange's going to put me in there. He's got no one there to challenge him, right?
It's very true.
So he knows that he's got his starting 11 place basically
nailed down. Yeah, that is a danger. That's a danger. That's when players really start to become complacent. Last thing I think we can squeeze in before you got to go. Would Rafinha fit in at Spurs? Sure. Nice. I don't know how good of a finisher he is. That was where I.
He's class. He's quality.
Better than Werner is what you're saying.
Well, no, different. They're different. But Rafinha at Barca has not overly impressed me, because he's a left-footed player, very left-footed player, but he can do it, and he can get in behind the back line. He can get in those spaces. He scored. Look what he did at PSG last week as a recent example. He can do it. Of course he can do it. He has to be played in the right place. Okay, but there's no point in him working his ass off for 90 minutes. If Madison is not going to take that, do you know what I mean? If the pass is not going, if the risk is not going to be taken to find him, it's not just one person.
Why is he going to keep making runs?
Everybody has to be in unison playing. You see, So would he be a good fit? He's a decent enough player, and for me, he's better than Kulusevski, much better than Kulusevski. So would that increase our output, our quality as a team? Yes. So would he be a good fit? I don't know. But
You'd have him though. You'd have him.
Yeah. And
with that was perfect timing. The alarm you set is now going off.
Did you hear that?
I did. It was perfect. The timing could not have been better.
I do have to go. I have to go.
Hey, enjoy your day, my friend.
I apologize, Michael.
No, you're good. Cooves is probably joining in too. So
Cooves, take my place. You want to sit down here, or are you bringing your own chair? You tell me, Cooves.
Yeah. He's bringing his own. He said. You guys can just tag out. You've seen tag team wrestling. Just tag him in. Hey,
elbowing.
Good luck at training today. Hope everything goes well. Hope the kids are all good.
Yeah.
Keep them all in line.
Oh, representing.
Yeah. What's the team? What's the team name?
Oh, San Tirso, which is they are. San Tirso is a village that's next to where I live, but they have they have like a 25-year agreement with Deportivo La Coruña. So they pick and choose, and they've got. And I've got to go and pick my daughter up, who actually trains down at the Deportivo training ground. So that's where I have to go, and then I have to go training with my team. So
that's wonderful. Have fun, dude. Yeah. Have fun. Yeah. It's wonderful that your kids love football as well. I pray that mine will.
Yeah. They make me suffer a hell of a lot. But yeah.
I bet, man. But hey, Chris, again, thank you. We appreciate your time, and I will again plug your channel again before we leave.
Thank you.
Don't worry about that. Yeah. Of course, my man. Of course.
Big up, everyone. Thanks for having me on. All the best.
Big love, Chris.
I candy out. Bye.
And then there was one for now, at least. I'm gonna get through some of these comments. We have had quite a few. First of all, Tony from Early Doors Football TV is in the house, and I have not yet said hey to Tony. So Tony, it is good to see you, man. Big up Colin and Chris. How the devil are the pair of you? Too bad I didn't see that while he was here. I am sorry, but I'm doing wonderful. Was feeling a bit down yesterday, but today's better. That's how it usually goes. Just give it a day, Bigging up Ryan, love that. And guys, we have a wonderful person backstage. I'm just gonna go ahead and bring him on. Kuva, my man, you lovely SOB. What's up? How are you?
Oh, I'm splendid, thank you, Colin. How's yourself, mate?
That's a great answer. I love that. I'm splendid as well. I'm going to steal it. That's a good word. That's my word of the day. Splendid. I'm going to say it a lot. I'm going to try to.
Oh, I mean, more than just normal splendid. I'm super fluffy and sparkly splendid today.
What happened?
We've just had a lot of silliness on Ben's coffee company.
Nice.
So it's just set the mood for a nice bit of chill for the rest of the day.
Good stuff.
Watching Arsenal get smashed tonight. Oh yeah, check out JSY's watch along as well tonight.
Oh yes.
I don't know how many people are doing watch alongs. Probably everybody.
Probably. But hey, shoot. I mean, I'll be there. I'll have it on while I'm working. Good stuff. Yeah. So you reckon Arsenal are going to get beat?
Oh yeah, 8-0. Just so we can have another 10-2 result, isn't it?
There you go.
Funny. I mean, I've got to assume Arsenal are going to get beat, but let's face it, their success so far this season has been built on a really good defense. So if they do that, they're still in with a chance, aren't they? But
absolutely,
didn't look too good in the first game, did it? And it didn't look too good against Villa.
And Sir Harold Kane is going to want a crack. I think he'll want another goal against Arsenal. I know that he got the penalty last time, but I think he'll want to score from open play. He hates Arsenal. We know it.
Of course. Who doesn't?
Right,
exactly. Only an Arsenal fan doesn't hate them.
I love it.
Same as us, though, really, isn't it? We are a hated club as well, but I mean, I think that's just Arsenal. You gotta despise them in footballing terms.
Yeah.
So yeah, that could be fun. Anyway, no, it's title of the show. Grab me, really. I don't know how much you wanted to talk about that, Steve.
I do a lot actually. If you're down, but basically, I kind of made some people mad with that, and I wasn't trying to, and I wasn't, and I need to make it clear, I was a little bit like grabby with the title, and sorry about that. But what I was saying is, I was just saying something that I've been hearing, and people, and that Ange isn't good enough, and that Ange needs to go. Been found out. It's going to get worse from here on out. And so I just wanted to. We looked at some stats earlier. They weren't great. I didn't have great stats pulled up, but just of the first season of Pep, of Klopp, of Arteta, and just showing that we're like on target. We're on track. he's done better. It's just look at this real quick. Ben says wrong, Kuva. Even Arsenal fans hate Arsenal. Well,
that's true. There's a lot that do.
Yeah. Just like there's Spurs fans that hate Spurs. I get it. But let me get that off of here. Oops. But yeah, Kuva. You've seen the managerial merry-go-round that we've been having. I had three of them, three of our previous managers on the thumbnail for this, and I didn't even put the intro managers on there. So there's actually been 5 managers in the time since, and I don't know. I just can't see a world ever where sacking Ange would be a good idea. And I'm sure you feel the same, probably.
It's always an idea to replace anybody if you've got a genuine upgrade, but I'm not so sure that's the real problem at the club at the moment. I think just first I'll start with a bit of background. I mean, I've been supporting Spurs since I was 5 years old, so it was a good 47 years of half of it really good, fun times, despite seeing a relegation when I was very little. I saw us bounce back, win some FA Cups, win a UEFA Cup, win another FA Cup, win a couple of League Cups, and then not very much for a long time now. So that's where I'm coming from overall. I have seen success. I've seen managers stay in for a prolonged period of time and win trophies. So that was my upbringing with the club. Loved it. And we played great football and had a bit of grit to go with it. And along with that stylish flair of the likes of Hoddle and our dealers, we had a Graham Roberts, we had a Steve Perryman, we had a Paul Miller type as well. Some
steel with your beauty and flair.
Had a bit of everything, yeah. And it was a great team. And we still weren't the best in the country because there was like the great Liverpool team at that era winning everything. Everton had a great team in the 80s as well. Villa early 80s, Forest had just won back-to-back European Cups. So I'm used to other teams winning stuff, but us being one of them in that pack where you think you're going to get something each season. You always felt you could nick an FA Cup or a League Cup or something like that. All of that feeling's gone nowadays. So, yeah, we've had this manager merry-go-round for a long time, since ENIC, really. That's when it's most accelerated.
And they haven't even been managers of the same style of play. That's what gets me.
Yeah, there's no consistency whatsoever. Leadership always comes from the very top, and that has to be the owner. It's the owner's vision of what he wants that basically propels everything else along. If he doesn't care about the football, you get what we see now.
I was going to say, do you think Joe Lewis even thinks about Tottenham?
Absolutely
even I bet there's days where that word doesn't even think of those letters put together like that. Tottenham. I don't think that goes through his head at all.
He basically just lives for money. That's it. That's what some people do. I mean, Levy, they say, is a Spurs fan. Perhaps he is of some sort or another, but I think he likes money more than he likes Spurs.
I agree.
I could be wrong. That's certainly the impression a lot of us get, though. Anyway, anyway, on to what's happening right now. So, I think, we can't even do that. You look at what's happened. Last time I was happy with what the club was doing was when Pochettino was here. Okay, I thought we had a genuine ability to actually push on, kick on, and do something there. If we'd added 1, 2, 3 more quality players to that squad, so you had people on the bench that could come on and change a game, I genuinely think we could have won the title when Leicester won it. I think we could have given Chelsea a run for the money next season as well. Maybe won it again, who knows? But it's ifs and buts at this point. All we know is things that we didn't do. So since then, absolute disastrous, flopping from instant win manager like Jose. If you're going to bring him in, you might as well go big and spend the money to get in an instant made to win team and just let him do it. That's what he does. But we didn't do that. We thought just having the manager will do it and fed him a load of rubbish. Waste of time. I don't like Jose. Jose, I should say. It's not the sort of style of manager I want to see at the club. But if he's there, give him what he needs. Just because at the end of the day, if you want to buy success, that's your man. There's nobody better than him in the world for doing that. Even with limited resources, as long as he's got enough quality in there, he can grind those results out. We've seen it with other clubs. But he went. So Nuno comes in, who's clearly not the right fit. He's a mid-table manager. We were mid-table when he left. If you could say, did what it says on the tin with him. It seemed pretty hopeless, but it's what you'd expect. Then Conte comes in, another manager. He's one. You give him what he needs, he could win things, but we don't give him the tools he needs either. Eventually, he's the one that ran out of patience, gives the board what for. Anyway, this is all the recent history. We've all seen it. Whether you agree or not, it's factual what's happened. They've come, they've gone, they've won nothing. So there's a consistent thing right the way through, and it isn't the managers. So we're at this point now where I was delighted to see Ange come in, as a lot of people were, because I want to see stylish attacking football and win things. I thought he's another one that gives us our best chance under these conditions. Basically, another Pochettino.
Yeah, honestly,
so
yeah. One the players hadn't already become disillusioned with. He was a new Pochettino. Yeah.
So I thought, great stuff. And last season broke me. I got to the point where I no longer care about the results. Just doesn't affect me anymore. So this season, I'm all in on Ange. He's the Messiah. We're going to win the quadruple, and I'll keep saying that every season. If I'm just going to enjoy it, I don't care. I don't have to be realistic. I don't even have to justify my opinion. It's just about how I want to view my club and how I want to feel about it. So I'm enjoying it, enjoying the ride. But we haven't seen that kind of football, have we? It's been very patchy. We've seen little glimpses of what we can do, but we've seen a lot of bad to go with it. So at the end of the day, what's he going to need to get this team up and running? Same answer as all those previous managers, players. Now, up until the January transfer window, I thought we have turned over a new leaf here. I thought we're starting to do things differently with the academy players, scrap the wage cap there, bring in some really top quality youngsters to build for the future, to add to what, and then develop our own academy. Our own academy isn't going to be ready for several years. It just takes that long, unfortunately. Yeah, the players there at the moment are not ingrained with the playing Ange's way. They're learning it as well at the moment. So that's not ready to go yet. So we won't see that. Meanwhile, what happened in January? Ange said he wants to, well, did he say in January or after? Ange actually came out with saying something that kind of worried me. And that's that he wants to challenge for the title next season. Now, that sounds good on paper until you hear him talk about what the club wants to do. Because to win the league next season, he's going to need serious investment in the summer. Top quality players, and quite a lot of them. That is going to be a massive investment. But he's also said that the club is not going to be doing that. We're going to be buying those younger players with a bit more potential and develop them, sort of kind of thing. It's that's what it basically the gist of it all was. For me, those two things cannot go together, which makes this Ange project pointless. Because I'm seeing a manager that wants to win now, who wants that instant ready-made team to push for things, and a club that wants to build on a longer term and develop players. I now think that although I love Ange, I think he's the wrong manager for what this club wants to do, because we are going to have to get another Pochettino. We're going to have to get somebody who's prepared to stay, develop players for 3 to 5 years, and it's going to be a slow process. Fans aren't going to take it. Fans will not take it. I think we'll be at the point now of seeing football that's taken a long time to get instilled into the players, and fans losing patience with it. And I think he'll get pushed out. I think there'll be too much fan backlash on the results. If the chairman doesn't lose his nerve first, because if we don't end up in European places or even Champions League spots regularly, pressure's on. Always is with this club. So I think we're going to see rinse and repeat, unfortunately. I think we're missing out on another chance to do something that we won't take.
To me, the only reason... sorry. I asked you your opinion and I talked over you. So that's kind of a dick move on my part.
I'll just finish quickly just saying. So for me, Ange is that manager where if you don't go with what the style of football he wants and provide what he wants, why hire him? And that's what I'm looking at now. I suddenly doubt what the point is in him being here. I think he could do very well at another club who's prepared to give him those ready-made players and put in some real quality. I think it could be incredibly exciting. I could imagine him going to the likes of Liverpool after Klopp and doing very well.
I have a banner about that. That's funny that you mentioned that. But The only reason why I don't agree is because of Postecoglou himself. He's had a successful career. You could say that he's not been in the toughest, the top leagues, but he's won like everywhere that he's went. I know you could have said the same about Mourinho as well. Why did he come here? But they clearly both thought that they could do something and achieve something here, or else I don't think they would have put that blemish on their career. The history, everything that he's achieved. But I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong there, but it just seems like he's a guy who values. He has values, and he wants to win. I just don't think he would have come here if he didn't think he could. But you could say that he came here to put himself out there to show people what he can do, and then get a job at a place where he's got the resources that he wants. That's an argument that could be made. But I don't know. What do you think about that, Kuva? Do you think that he would potentially risk his career?
At the end of the day, fair credit to him. He has taken on board everything all these questions that we've always had in the past about managers. Was this his signing? Did the manager really want this player? Are these the stipulations he's prepared to work for? Ange has just confirmed all of it. He's taken everything on his shoulders. That's brave in its own way. Because now there is the rod there to beat him with. He's set out the objectives and the stipulations for which he's got to work within. If he thinks he can do that and he manages it, that's brilliant. I'll be well impressed with that. But
and you don't think any of it's paper talk?
I do not see compatible objectives here. You can't do this ready-made football without a ready-made team. So I think he's set himself up to fail now. I don't think it's anything to do with his lack of talent. People will say, "Oh, he's too rigid," and his tactics aren't adaptive. For me, if you're really doing a project, which is what I thought he was going to be doing, you spend the first year just drilling in that way of playing to the team. You don't worry about the results. As long as you're not getting relegated, it doesn't matter.
And to me, that's what it seems like he's doing, though, Coop.
Well, the trouble is we're not really seeing a lot of that yet. I think the real gauge would be next season, where he's managed to weed out players that he knows can't offer him that, and hopefully bring in some more that can. So what I would expect to see is an improvement next season. But when he's talked about challenge for the title, I don't see that. Do
you think he means that in his heart, or do you think he's just saying that because it's like the right thing to say?
He might be challenging the players to do it. Perhaps he does expect that from the players. Perhaps he does have that self-belief. I think this is a bigger and longer-term job than perhaps he was anticipating.
Yeah, he doesn't usually stay that many years at a job, right? He's like a kind of a 3-year tops type of manager, it seems like.
Yeah, if he feels it's no longer a challenge for him, or or it's not the right fit, he's not scared of leaving, is he? So I think. Plus, he's his age as well. He's getting on for 60 now, isn't he? So he isn't going to be in management that much longer.
That's true.
Yeah, it kind of doesn't fit together at the moment. This whole club plan of, it's been widely reported. The aim, generally speaking, is to get players under the age of 25, try and develop them into Champions League players. That's a good plan. I'm quite happy to do that. A lot of people won't have the patience for that, but I'm okay with that as long as I see we're progressing all the time while doing it. And we've basically got a squad of 18, 19 players, all of that reasonable level to push you up into European spots every season and just keep chipping away at it, improving, sell some on for big money, bring in 3 or 4 more with that money you've just made. I'm okay with all of that as long as you're going forward. But I just see the same cycle happening again. Either the chairman loses his rag, and sacks the manager, or the fans will force the manager out, and we'll just go through yet another man. Is it going to be a different style of football again? I think that's the only long-term hope now, is with the backroom staff in there, the director of football and the scouting department all there. Are they going to consistently pick the same style of football with each manager coming in? If we do that, we've got a chance of doing something. But I think this is a long-term project, and we've got a short-term manager. That's a problem.
To me, because to me, it seems like he's prepared to stay and to build. And things I've heard from him, I know that I guess what you're saying, and you make a good point, that saying you want to win the league next year isn't indicative of somebody who is in for a project. But I think that, I don't know, to me it seems like he is in for a project, but that he says, like I was saying, like he says those things about winning the league because, well, for one, it just makes sense. Like you don't go into things if you don't think you can win, or you don't try to win. You know what I mean? So I get what he's saying there. You know, he's a competitive guy. Why would he go into a season thinking of anything else but winning the league, even if it's not that realistic?
Well, for me, the biggest alarm bell of the lot is the one you and I will always see differently on, Timo Werner. For me, that's a poor player. That's not somebody that wins you a league. Yeah, if we're going to be investing in him, paying big wages and any kind of transfer fee, and expecting him to be someone that elevates the team to that level, no chance. So,
to me, I think Timo Werner has been seen as like a easy, quick way to thicken out our thin team for next season when we've got domestic cups that we are actually going to take seriously and Europe to contend with. To me, that's what Timo Werner is. I kind of expect us to go and sign a player that's a starter in his same exact position, and then just have him be.
But then, wouldn't it be better to just use one of the academy players as the backup?
If they're good, if they're as good as he is.
Why pay $100,000 a week for somebody that sits on the bench most of the time? It doesn't make sense to me.
If they're as good as he is, I guess. But I don't know. He also is the only player, not the only player. Johnson's doing it too, but he beats his man. He's playing more the way Ange wants than the players that have come before him. I think he fits the system tons better than Kulu.
There's some big drawbacks to his game as well. I mean, all of that front three that were there on the weekend, I'd say none of those are really good at chasing the opposition down or the pressing in general. People put the big emphasis on how bad we are, entirely on how badly we defended. But you defend from the front. If you're going to play in the opponent's half and play that aggressive pressing, you've got to press aggressively. And I didn't see any of that. They were given, whenever we lost the ball and we went sideways and sideways with the ball, did nothing with it. No bravery, no invention, no taking a chance. It was all like try and keep the ball, but eventually lose it. They would pounce, take a couple of steps forward with it, look up, pick up a long range pass, and away they went. We didn't have anybody. At times they'd get it in their own box, for example. One of the goals, I forget which one now. It might have been one of Isaac's first goal. They want it in their box. The player runs out of the box with the ball, looks up, long range ball. We had 3 players standing outside the box. 3 of our players were standing outside the box. Only right at the very end did one of them move towards the player to close him down. It was way too late. Now, if we're going to play Ange ball, at least one of those should have been flying in. That's the moment we lost the ball. That pass should never have happened because that's not the defence's fault. That's what happens if you play high up the pitch and put no pressure on the ball. It becomes easy for the opposition. And that's all Newcastle had to do. None of the players were at it. The midfield weren't doing it. The forwards weren't doing it. So it was all on the defence who look absolutely fragile. If you allow that for a defence playing on the halfway line, you are going to get punished every time. High risk, high reward only works if you do it properly. Otherwise, it's just high risk. So that's all we saw on Saturday. Fair play to Newcastle. They exploited it, but it wasn't just the manager's tactics that was wrong there. Our players really let him down there. I
think it's more the players letting him down than the tactics even. I think it was more
the tactics have got risk. That's fair enough. Some people won't like that. I understand that. That's cool. I'm okay with it. I like it. I like risk taking in football.
Me too. It's fun.
You've got to take some risks. But I get it. If people say it's really suicidal type football, it does look that way when it's going badly. There's no doubt about it. That was a painful watch, wasn't it? But I'm with you. Those players were terrible. Nobody turned up. Nobody, including the captain.
Awful. Yeah, that's true. That's very true. I got to talk about him in a second.
Also, the movement when we are attacking, you look for players to move into places. Don't make the passes easy and they're telegraphed, and the opposition can just pick them off. Newcastle could do that all day long, but we were just terrible. Every part of the game, the pressing wasn't there, the pace wasn't there, the urgency wasn't there.
I think our team has this feeling.
Sorry, go
on. I think we've got a feeling that it's just Newcastle. We were like, oh, it's just Newcastle. We'll beat them. And they didn't go out there and like you said, they weren't pressing. They weren't. They just looked disinterested and like they thought they were going to be able to just pull up and win and get the easy 3 points and go home. And,
I think as soon as they realised that Newcastle are prepared for what they're doing, and they didn't really step it up, I think that's where there's a failure with our captain. Because I think I love Sonny, absolutely adore him. I think we've got to enjoy him for the rest of the time he's with us. Yeah. But I don't see him as a leader when you're up against it, when things are falling apart. He's not that kind of player. I think you could have somebody there with a bit of fire, somebody that'll roll their sleeves up and really get into the players. And I'm talking the Roy Keanes, the Patrick Vieira types, the John Terry types, where all these other teams seem to have one and we never do. Yeah, this is a long-term problem. Hugo, for me, was not a proper captain.
Kane, not a proper captain, really. I mean,
they're good. They're great ambassadors for the club and role models. Right. But there's a difference between that and actual captaining the team, because sometimes it's warfare. You've got to have somebody that can manage your troops in battle, and that's not those sort of players. They have their use. I mean, we did after all win the double with Danny Blanchflower as captain, and he was the same sort of one. He was a gentleman footballer, but the real blood and thunder in the team was Dave Mackay. Right. Some people would say, really, that's the captain. When the going's tough, you need the Dave Mackay. When it's all easy, plain sailing, Danny Blanchflower is your man. So same thing nowadays, but people don't always see it the same way. That's the beauty of opinions on this game, isn't it? We're all just fans on fan channels.
I love
it. We can be wrong, and it doesn't really matter, does it?
Not at all. No, not even a little bit. Which is, you're right. It's great. I had another question for you. Sorry about that. So I was going to pull up something here. All great points so far, and I like that you and I don't exactly see this on the exact same. This is good. It's the way it should be. It makes the discussion a lot more interesting for me, at least.
I'll be worried if we do, because some of your ideas are wacky, mate.
Hey,
no, it's cool.
I call it soccer over here. That's the first wacky thing. I was gonna say, look at this, Bob Belcher, Kuva talking sense as usual. Big up, General. And I'm not picking on anybody at all. I just want to pull up a comment because it made me think of something. Almost there. Okay. So this is Dan pointing out, and him and Ben are talking about how this is his first real job in the big leagues, how he needed to get to this spot in his career, how if you look at Spurs' previous managers, it's going to be hard for him to taint his career by coming here because nobody's been able to do it here. But then Dan says, and a lot of people say, and I'm seriously not picking on you, you're just the person that said it, but this is his only job at the top. That Australia, Japan, Scotland are all substandard leagues. I think it's really unfair to just say that those don't count. His achievements of those clubs are just completely discounted, and I've seen a lot of people do it.
When it is a lesser league, as it were, you've got to compare him to what his peers are doing in the same league.
Yeah.
And you talk to Celtic fans, they say he's one of the greatest managers they've ever had. He was significantly better than anybody else they'd had at the time. So that should tell you something. And the same in those other leagues as well. When they perform to a level that outshines everybody else that's been there doing the same job, you've got to say they're better than that bunch. So they've got to come on and test themselves. But at the same time, I get what he's saying. Is you come to the Premier League, he's come to prove himself. He hasn't done that yet. If he does, then that's it. That answers the question. But until then, yeah, there's going to be question marks. Of course there will. We even had people doubting Lionel Messi until he won the World Cup. That's basically what it does. It's a harsh business. You win things, it shuts people up, doesn't it?
Absolutely. It absolutely does. And he walked into that Celtic team. You mentioned Celtic. He walked into that Celtic team whenever they were in a bad way. But I don't know. But then again, I wasn't following, so I don't know if they just turned around and spent a bunch of money to get him the players that he needed. I don't know if I know they're one of the biggest spenders in that league. I know that them and Rangers are kind of the Barcelona and Real Madrid of the SPL. But Yeah, that'd be a good one for me to look into. Is if he did a lot of that himself, if he got more out of some players that were already there, or if it was all his players that came in. Interesting. That's an interesting thought that I'll absolutely look into. I know that he brought over like some players from like Asian leagues and stuff like that. Like I know that for a fact. But interesting stuff.
I'd say it's easier for him to do what he did in Scotland because, it is a lesser standard there. So you don't need to buy quite as high quality players to make a huge difference. So it's the same principle, but we're stepping up a level with the Premiership. So it's kind of a valid point as well. But I also say you've got to have caveats as well. You've got to allow certain amount of flexibility on your view.
Yeah, exactly. I really do think too that I don't know. He's done so much better this season than we all were hoping. And someone else put a comment in here. I didn't bring it up because you were talking and I liked the conversation. But he said that Ange Ball ended after the Chelsea match, and I kind of buy that. It seems like we've sort of fallen off since then. We don't seem to be playing Ange Ball. I almost hate that term more than anything, but we haven't really been doing it the way he would like. Since then, and even then, it only seemed like we got like a half of the match where we would be playing well. I don't know. I guess what I'm saying is this could just be an adjustment period, Kuva. We could have a great preseason and bring in a couple good players and bing bang boom, we're on the way. We're flying.
Yeah, I mean, one of the other things. Oh, sorry, I've said to Ben. I'll talk about a comment he made about it as well. He says it will cost in wages. 7.6 million to employ Timo Werner for next season. I'd rather play a youth player and not have my season ticket raised in price. Fair point.
Yeah.
If the club's squandering big money on players, you've got to justify your season tickets at the same time, haven't you? And just see tickets price in general. It's if you're gonna be top of the range in prices, you've got to offer top of the range in quality and entertainment, haven't you? So we're kind of failing there. Sorry, I've got sidetracked. You were talking about
No, thank you for bringing that up. I appreciate it. Just basically the fact that you were saying it's going to take longer than he was thinking. He might not be wanting to stick around for it. I honestly think that a couple of his signings, and we're cooking with gas. I think, and everyone said that obviously, but this transfer window is super important. And I think if it goes well, it basically determines how his career goes, I think. And I know that sounds dramatic and maybe a little over dramatic, but I think this upcoming transfer window is the most important one for him.
This is Spurs. It won't affect his reputation because he can go wherever he wants afterwards and he'll be fine. It's not affected Jose, has it?
No, but he had already, he'd already established himself as one of the top managers in the world at that time.
Exactly, and Ange has built his reputation a long time before coming here. So
true, yeah,
people will see it for what it is. There's an awful lot of people out there that know what happens at this club as well as those Spurs fans do.
True.
So there is that part of it. I think, however, the estimates on what's needed for Ange's style of play to work, I think people are underestimating just how far away we are from it.
Really?
Personally, I think we're going to need a squad of around 18, 19 very, very good players to be able to consistently play this kind of football. When you're allowed 5 substitutes, you can refresh the legs on a regular basis.
And he does. Yeah, he does it.
And I think we've got 7 players that fit that at the moment. I think we're 12 signings away. That's a lot. We're not doing that in one summer.
So
trouble is we got them. Even if we do sign 12 players, supposing we do it over, let's be generous and say you do it over 3 years. Sonny's 35 then. So that he's going to need replacing too.
Yeah.
Now you're looking at 13 players over those. So it's a long project. If you really want to do it with ready-made players, you've got to spend huge money in bulk. And I just do not see this club doing that. So that's why I'm saying I think Angie's going to run into trouble.
And you're making good points. Hard to refute, to be honest. Put a pin in that for just 1 second. I just wanted to bring up Dan's comment again. They're substandard leagues, such as the fact the soccer league is rated higher than the Scottish league. Scotland is ranked 16th league in the world. I'm not saying that the league isn't substandard, I guess. I'm just saying that every other team, it's not like he had a team from the Premier League that he brought to those leagues and then just steamrolled everybody and that it didn't matter. Like, he was playing with roughly the same cards as everybody else and managed to win there. So I think
what I'd say is take the Scottish League, for example. Yeah, you can't compare the Scottish League to the Premier League, but Celtic managers, I'm saying you could compare Brendan Rodgers to Ange Postecoglou. And Celtic fans rate Ange Postecoglou far higher. So that would be a fair comparison for me.
Yeah.
Like I said, you've got to compare people to their peers. It's like comparing players of different generations. Circumstances are different. It's really unfair to compare, say, Jimmy Greaves to Alan Shearer. Totally different generations.
Yeah, I get that. Football's changed. I wanted to say hey to Adrian Soroka, who's in the house. I haven't said hey to Adrian yet, I don't believe. Adrian, thank you for joining. Always nice to have you. Again, small steps rather than immediate results, says Potato Stew. Daniel, you say, Colin, you would win a league with Celtic in Scotland. Well, that's just because I'm a great manager, man. That has nothing to do with the league. No, but Potato Stew saying, again, small steps rather than immediate results. Do you think that – so, Kuv, do you think there's any chance that what Ange is saying about winning the league is literally just what he's been told to say? It's just media, fluff, PR shit?
I don't think it's him being told to say it. I think that's it's his belief. It's part of what he does. He wants to instill that sense of confidence in the team. But, belief in, I'm getting you there. Believe in me. We'll do it. But I just do not see the amount of players coming in as quickly as he needs. I really don't. It's a shame because I think we could have a great time with him at the helm and a good squad of really good players to put in. I think we'd give teams absolute hell at that point. What we're seeing at the moment, though, I look at it, it's the defence that gets highlighted all the time, but for me, it's the attack that's so underwhelming.
This is the most bonkers thing I've seen. Sorry, this comment by Ben. Sorry. Brendan Rodgers has won more major trophies than Ange Postecoglou, better manager. I don't think that's fair to say. But, again, I cut you off really bad, Kuba.
Well, different circumstances again, isn't it? Again, compared to their peers in each division, each place they're at. You could say Brendan Rodgers is more proven in the British Isles than Ange Postecoglou is. That would be fair. Because you can back it up with trophies, but the rest of it you can't do a direct comparison. Different circumstances, but
I feel like people have this view of Postecoglou that might not even be correct. Like he doesn't seem. What are your? I mean, I know that you like the guy, but for people who don't, what are your fears about him? What don't you like about him? Why isn't he?
My biggest fear about him is I don't really know him yet. We're watching him make some strange substitutions at times. I don't understand them a lot of the time either. And we're having to guess at why he's doing things. Is it because he's reading the game badly or he's got some genius idea that we don't know? Or is he just assessing players and working out what he needs for next season and then trying to work out the character and the composure of players he's already got, and are they able to turn the game around without instruction? We don't know. So I'm still getting used to what he can do. And with the squad he's taken over, and like I said, it's a completely underwhelming attack we've got. Harry Kane out of the team has completely changed us. As far as I'm concerned, we've got Maddison, who's the only creative player worthwhile, and Sonny, who's the only forward worthwhile. That's not going to get you very far. Yet we've done okay. So I'm completely up in the air. I mean, me saying Ange is the Messiah and I think he's the one taking us forward. What do I base that on? Nothing. Complete leap of faith. I'm happy to say that. All I know is I've seen a style of football I would love for him to create at Spurs. That's it. And I think if he could do that with good players, I think we could win things. But I've got nothing to back that up with. It needs time.
I'm not sure if Stu was talking to me or you, but he said that's a lot of words for sitting on the fence. Hey, I'll admit it. I'm a fence sitter.
I'm not even a fence sitter. I'm quite happy to be called a flip flop. If we win in style, we're the greatest team on earth. If we lose and it's bad, we're the worst thing ever and deserve to be relegated.
There you go.
For me, that's being a fan. I'm happy to flip flop. Cheer a player when he misses a goal. If he scores the winner at the end, he's the best ever.
Yeah,
Timo Werner, even. I've slated him all the time. If he scores the winner in the North London derby, let's build a statue.
He very well might. Yes, I love it. Hosper had answered my question, said he hasn't seemed to adapt and only play one way. Will he change? Is the question. Ange's squad is 5 times better than what Conte had. Interesting.
5 times, but it doesn't have Harry Kane though, does it? And that's a huge problem for this team because I don't see it without Sonny in it. Where do those goals from? We're talking Richie, Werner, Johnson. I don't see a lot there. Does he adapt? He has in certain games. I mean, we had to sit back and hit on the counter against Luton when we had a player sent off. We've seen him take his captain off in the last game.
That was cool. I thought that was actually really ballsy.
And we have seen those half-time substitutions made sometimes. Because he doesn't do it consistently, change it radically, it doesn't mean he's not changing it. He is doing little things to tinker with it. But, yeah, I get it when people say he's stubborn because you do see him sticking to the same sort of overall style. But I think if you're trying to instill that into a team, a way of playing, you've got to stick with it no matter how painful it is because it's got to get through to the players. I just don't think fans can put up with that.
Do you remember how long Arsenal fans had to trust the process?
Exactly.
What the heck? You know, and now you see the fruits that's bearing.
Sadly, they are a good comparison for where we are at the moment.
Yeah, and that's fine. I'm okay with it. And honestly, we just need to give our manager time like they did. When you build something and actually give someone time to see out their vision, it's really cool what you can do. And it sucks that it's Arsenal.
I'm just laughing at a comment from Potato Stew. It's probably not the best one to put on screen.
Oh, let me see it though. Yes, I love it. We do need to get him back on stream.
If Timo gets a hat trick in the North London derby, yeah.
Yes. I wish I hadn't kicked that guy off. I was just afraid he was going to get me in trouble. But that was a funny one. That was definitely a funny. Who would have ever thought you'd get a guest on your show from prison? I wouldn't have thought so.
Indeed.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Okay, so I just wanted to read a couple more comments here. Jose is here. So for a while, I was commenting under his name, and he is also commenting under his name. So sorry about that. I will quit, Jose. I didn't know you were here. He says, can we adapt and support another team? If all we do is bash? Can we adopt and support another team if all we do is bash? I love it. He says, anyone for a tournament of Football Manager? Good shit, Jose. But Jose's a little fiery. That's the Spanish in him, I think. I like it. I like it a lot. But yeah, he made noticeable changes against City away. Players were wider rather than usual, narrow style to counter the likes of Walker. That's a good point. That's a really good point. I remember that match.
And when the likes of Rodri was being pulled forward, it left Kulusevski loads of space, and we were doing well off that. They had to then adapt to what we'd done.
See, so I don't think it's fair. I mean, he has a style of play that he likes, Ange. That's obvious. But to say that he doesn't adapt, I think is not quite correct. It's not quite a fair thing to say because it's not
going to be radical changes, is it? That's what I'm saying. Yeah. If you're trying to instill a way of
he's not going to go 3 at the back suddenly, or
I'm totally for that. Otherwise, what's the point? If he's to change his style from something he doesn't want to play, how are the players going to learn it? You've got to go through the pain. That's what it comes down to. Do you have the patience for it at the moment? And I totally get it when the fans say they don't, because we've been suffering for a long time now. So, yeah, I mean, are we going to get that instant win manager? No, we've tried that. We won't back them, so that's out the window. So whoever we get in, it's going to be a patient thing now. unless we got new ownership. Oh, please, Amazon, come in.
So, new ownership, is that, I mean, I don't think that's going to happen, just being realistic. But if it did, I mean, has there been any talk? There's been talk of I think some more shares being sold or something like that, right?
That'll be to do with the prospect of building a new hotel.
Oh shit!
You know, 750 million hotel or whatever the price was. Can't forget. I'd imagine they'll sell 750 million worth of or 800 million worth of shares, and then little trickle into the first team, some into the women's team, and most of it will be going on that hotel project. Yeah, I don't know. I just pretty much despair with what's going on. No, not even despair anymore. Despair was last season. Now I just don't care.
I can tell. You seem a lot more. You seem a lot happier this season.
I'll see some bullshit news about Spurs nowadays. I'll just flick over, watch something else. I just don't care. Life's too short, and I'll just respect my time now. I'll tell you what. The Newcastle game, I've got to say I didn't watch it.
No way.
I had a feeling we were going to lose. We're just playing such terrible football at the moment.
I had literally one of my when I was doing a build up to that game, I said, "Are we going to get beat? Was last win a fluke? And are we papering over the cracks?" And then we saw what happened. It appears.
Yeah, for me, it's for a long time. It's something Alex Davis says as well with Mr. Box Office. He and I agree on quite a few things. One of them is we both know what our team is all about now this season. Nothing's going to change until the summer, until that summer transfer window happens, and we know what happens going into next season. I can't change anything, so I'm going to keep a bit of interest. If we play some good games, I'll watch it. If it's a match I feel like it's worth watching, North London Derby, I'm definitely going to watch that. Because even when we're playing badly, we're usually able to put up some sort of fight. Not always, but usually. So that could be fun. Absolutely. Other than that, take it or leave it. Until I see signs of where we're looking to improve in the summer, then I just don't care that much now. Like I said, last season utterly broke me. I've gave up all hope of anything good happening at this club.
I hardly even saw you last season.
I enjoy match days now. It doesn't ruin my weekend if we lose.
Same. I used to really put way too much stock into a win or a loss, and it could ruin at least a day minimum. Would be ruined for me if that, you know what I mean. But you're right. I've had to detach a bit as well. Man, that Champions League final made me detach some. That was awful. I cried. I'll tell everyone I cried that day a lot. I was drinking too, but I cried a bunch, and it was embarrassing now to look back on. But you just can't put that much of your stock of your happiness into what these 11 dudes are going to go do on the pitch. So yeah, there's a nice healthy debate going on in here, and I like it. I can't tell if Potato Stew is actually asking this or if he's just ribbing you.
If he's asking me, I'm quite happy to be fickle. Like I said, I'm quite happy to flip-flop to the max.
To the moon.
Every meal's a banquet. Every lack of meal's a famine. And there's nothing in between. This is Spurs. I live the roller coaster usually. I fell off the roller coaster last season, so I just don't give a shit either way now.
There you go. Well, I'm glad that you managed to live through the fall. That those can be scary. So, yeah, I'm in the same place. I'm in the same place, man. It really doesn't. I love that. I love Spurs. I care about Spurs. I do this. I mean, I think about them all the time, but it's not. I'm not nearly as invested emotionally as I used to be, and I think that's a good way to be. El Tel himself says, "Healthy debate. Smash alike, people. Let's not be tight. I know no one is tight in here." I like that. So, and then Mark Cook says, "Let's get to 50 likes, people." Yeah, absolutely. And then
I think that's one. Oh, sorry. Go on.
No. I was just gonna read Potato Stew's comment because he's 100% right. He was correcting me. I said I was drinking, and he said you mean I was very, very drunk. LOL. And absolutely, far too intoxicated. But anyway, yeah, Spurs loss will do that to you. Well, if you're emotionally invested to the point of damaging yourself. But anyway, you were gonna say something, Kuva?
Oh, it's to do with because we got a nice little clique going with our Leeds friends now, don't we?
Yeah.
And Jess and Stacey and Kells and all that. And everybody else there, they know who they are. Things in general about just clubs and being fans in general. I never get annoyed with somebody else's point of view anymore, because at the end of the day, we all want the same thing. And when that starts dawning on you again, you just step back, try and put yourself in the other person's pair of shoes, see where they're coming from. Because I think with clubs like Leeds, with clubs like Spurs, Newcastle, Villa, Everton, the clubs that haven't really been doing a lot for the last few decades, we should be demanding more from our club. Absolutely, we should. Don't have to demand trophies, but you should demand the club is up there, at least looking like they're challenging for it each time, looking to improve all the time. And we don't see that with a lot of our clubs that have been badly managed and fallen away. So I think fans getting a little bit passionate and disagreeing with each other is fine. It's all a symptom of the club letting us down. Because if the club was there, we're playing stylish football and winning things, we wouldn't have silly arguments about which players to buy and stuff. There'd be fun arguments about which players to buy.
Exactly. So,
you're
100% right.
I think as long as you remember that at the end of the day, you should be able to have a laugh with everybody you go on streams with. It shouldn't have to be a nasty, drawn-out argument on every stream, and slanging matches going over on Twitter and all that crap. It's just try and garner whatever you can out of what's happening at your team. Put forward your own opinions and have a talk about it. I think it's so much nicer when you can come onto some of these shows and have a proper debate where you're looking at both sides of it and thinking, is there a way in the middle where you can meet and look at a way?
Yeah, I'm always happy to have my mind changed. People will tell you all the time that I change my mind a lot, and it does, because
I think we get far too easily drawn into this mentality of I've got to win the argument, and that's all that matters. You kind of lose something. You're supposed to be talking about all the possibilities that could happen at the club. Personally, I like it if somebody can come out with a comment that makes me think, I hadn't considered that. That's a really good point. That's brilliant.
Absolutely.
I love it.
Absolutely. It's good stuff. It makes you think. It expands your mind, man, and that's good. expand your mind, man.
Do that on a late night stream. See the reaction you get. Yeah.
There you go. Exactly.
But
it's
a pity that attitude doesn't seem to get through to the chairman sometimes, isn't it?
You're right. Absolutely. But maybe he has. And I mean, supposedly, there's football people in charge of football now, and he's going to stick to fucking property development or whatever. And
well,
if that's the case.
We'll see. That's allegedly the plan, isn't it? Is it going to happen, though? That's the big question.
We'll find out. I just wanted to also real quick tease this awesome T-shirt that you could own. It says, I heart a good Brennan Johnson on it, and it has Brennan Johnson and a bunch of water behind him, and I think it's a really good T-shirt. So if you're into T-shirts, if you're into some Spurs gear, another one that I think people might like while I'm on the subject, I think this one will be very good tonight after the Arsenal Bayern match. So yeah, I
think that's more one you'd buy for an Arsenal friend, isn't it?
Maybe you might be right. That's a good idea, actually. I was thinking about getting it before my trip to London in a couple weeks and wearing it around and seeing if I got anybody mad at me. But yeah, guys, there's some awesome stuff available. It's there at that link there. That takes you to the Brennan Johnson tee, but there's a lot more. Real quick, let me get that out of here. Ben Kaufman. Oh no, we're still small. Here we go. Ben Kaufman says, I'm losing my love of Spurs. So many other activities make me happier. That's Levy's plan. Drive the local fans away from the club and replace us.
Yeah, I agree. Local fans are not going to spend the kind of money that somebody's going to spend when they come from abroad with a big budget to buy on memorabilia and have the whole experience, see everything, spend thousands. That's what Levy would want every seat filled with a fan like that. So local fans don't matter, because it is all about the money, whether we like it or not.
Absolutely. Oh, absolutely. Everyone's bigging you up, Coovs. And Hotspur Hood, Bobby K.
It's his job to big me up as Bobby K.
He has to. Yeah, he has to. Eltel says, I'm invested in my club and have been good or bad for nearly 50 years. It only ends here in a box. But yes, hell yes, yes, I love it. But in the afterlife, my soul will also be there. That's the most badass thing I've read today. So big up, boss, captain. But yeah, I like that.
See, I would agree with that, except for Eric Dyer says he wants his ashes scattered over the ground, and that's kind of put me off. I don't think I want eternity knowing that's happened.
True. Eric Dyer, gosh, what a weird guy. His career started out so good at Spurs, but then it all just went tits up, as they say. And then Daniel E, not Dan E. We've got Dan E and Daniel E in the house. Big up to you both. He says, seeing as some Spurs fans are questioning Ange already, even though they said they would give him the season, if we sack Ange, we're done. Actually, gone as a football club. We've tried every different style.
Yeah.
Daniel, I love your comments, man. You're a very intelligent dude. I really like having you in the chat. And yeah, we have tried every different style. We've set back and done the low block and counterattack with two different managers. What the hell were we trying to do with what was the style of play with oh my god, I can't even think. Nuno. What was it? What even were we doing?
This ties in with my view about what happens in the summer. For me, as far as I'm concerned, it's all in time.
Yeah.
Either you go completely commit to this idea, or you might as well just sack him immediately and then just realise we're not going for anybody. Get in a manager that's never interested in winning titles and just happy to let us hover there at a fluffy little 5th, 6th in the table all season long, season after season, and occasionally get lucky. Some of the players we sign will turn out to be good.
Oh, Van der Ven's going to be one of the best defenders in the league, no doubt. We'll have trouble keeping him.
Going back further, we had that summer with Hugo Lloris, Jan Vertonghen, and Moussa Dembele. Same summer, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
So it can be done. It can be done, but we need these combination of events to come together at the same time under the same manager, and then
Leicester
have a
City
bit of
won a
results
league
as well.
Leicester
That's
City
a lot
won the
to
league.
ask. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, it is a lot to ask, but it could happen. The stars could align. Who knows? Graham says, Jose, same here for a tad longer through thick and thin. Good evening, by the way. Graham, thanks for being here, buddy. Appreciate you. Appreciate your support all the time, man. He's saying fans need to accept that football is part of the entertainment business. As such, it has to be run as a business. It's sad that it is becoming that way. It hasn't always been that way, but it is. Yeah. It is now becoming that for sure.
Yeah, you're right, and I utterly resent that as well. Money has ruined this game. Absolutely destroyed it. All that's happened is people that are already rich have seen the amount of revenue coming into the sport and decided to get in on it. We're seeing clubs absolutely destroyed by it. Look at that. For example, what was his name? Tang, was it? I have no clue about football. He has taken it over.
Oh,
and you see it everywhere. Our club, fortunately, in a way, we've got a chairman that's at least got the sense to know how to stabilise the ship. You know, keep us at this mediocrity level. But not fall away. But others are completely ruining clubs.
Definitely, and I'm afraid.
Look at Everton.
Yeah, very much so. And when you get a new owner, you have to think of who that person's going to be. And I know a lot of people are just like, I'm taking the risk, don't care. But
yeah,
I always say it's a corny saying, but the devil you know sometimes is better than the devil you don't. So
I'm selfish. I'm in my 50s now. I'm happy to roll the dice and see what we get.
Yeah. Yep. Hey, man. I'm becoming more and more that way myself. As you probably know from my shows, and I don't know if Jose always does this, but the jazz music means it's almost time to go. We're going to quiet things down a little bit. We're going to relax. I have to work in 26 minutes, but I work from this chair, so it's all good.
Where's your sense of adventure? That's enough time to call out every YouTube creator.
Oh, man, I could.
Bring them all on. Yes, Colin's calling you all out, all of you.
Every single one. No, please, no. I don't want any smoke, anybody. I'm all happiness and roses over here. No fights with anybody. I've played that game. Potato Stew says, roll those dice, D&D man, Kuma.
with a bit of D&D.
Yes. So wait, you play D&D?
Oh, I used to all the time. Don't get time
That's
for it
so
anymore.
Cool. I play it as well. That's awesome.
Come on, bit of heavy metal, bit of D&D, bit of football. What's wrong with that? And some curry. Hey, that's me sorted for a weekend.
That sounds lovely, actually. Yeah, you got it, man. So where am I at comments wise? Totally agree with you, Hotspur Hood. Anyone trying to hound Ange out is mad for now. Yeah, dude. And Daniel, Dan E says to Daniel E, you can still criticize a manager when they get it wrong and still support them. Ange out now would be crazy. Yeah, absolutely would be nuts.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if we're getting bad results, of course you should be able to criticize. You don't if you can't see what's going on, or you don't know what he's thinking or why he's making some of the decisions, you're not going to sit there like an idiot going, "This is great," when you just got beaten 4-0.
Right. You're gonna look into things, try to figure out what went wrong.
Is he getting things right? Or I'm fine with that. But then that proves his point as well. That's why you don't do it. You don't go Ange out straight away. You wait to see what happens, see what the plan is in the summer. Then you got a better idea where we're going with things. This season is all about changing the style of how we do things at the club.
Do you think Ange made a mistake? Not a mistake. Wow, that wasn't the right word. But do you think Ange did himself a disservice almost by going undefeated in those first 10 matches? I think that raised his expectations for the season a lot.
It would have been so much better if it had been in reverse and we were having those 10 games right now.
Yeah, exactly. He
said himself though during those 10 games, he said, I wasn't expecting the players to adapt this quickly. So you could see it was a kind of freak thing. He didn't see it coming.
Yeah, and I don't think it even happened. I don't think they did adapt. I think, or maybe new manager bounce or something. I don't know. It was weird because it seems like we've somewhat lost our way. Not completely, but somewhat lost our way. But who knows? It could all be coming back. There's just people that will criticize anything and everything. The fact that we've got Ryan Mason as our set piece coach. Apparently, the coaching staff he has, from what I understand, is the coaching staff that he has just until the end of the season. I don't know if you're allowed to add to it during the season. Do you know that, Kuba?
The coaching staff rather than the stuff. That's one of the things I'm very much baffled by. We'll wait and see what's happening at the end of the day. It might be a case of Ange just said, look, I know these people, I trust them. And then Levy might have an input and saying, we're going to have Ryan Mason in anyway because everybody knows and likes him, so I want him part of the setup.
Could be. I think he is kind of priming him to maybe be a manager someday.
Ben always says, Ryan Mason's being primed to take over as manager at some point.
I kind of believe it. You know what I mean? Sack Ryan Mason from.
Hopefully, he's going to be that one you got there in the glass box. He's the emergency sort of caretaker manager.
He's been that way so far. Yeah, for two different times, right?
Yeah. I can imagine him being that role.
Yeah. What if? I mean, in an ideal world, right? He goes out to the championship, manages a team, does really well, develops a style of football, or even brings Spurs style of football. Let's say Spurs still have this attacking style at this point. He brings that style to him, to his club in the championship. Somehow gets that to work in the championship because we know that tactics and they don't work the same in all leagues. But he gets that to work, and then comes back to Spurs with like a fully formed idea of how he wants his club to play. And is older and can command more respect from the older players. I don't know. I guess I could foresee a world where that's not the worst thing ever.
I just can't see it with him. He's too much of a nice guy. I think the only way it's going to work with him is let's go for it. Demonic possession. He's got red glowing his eyes and his voice has gone really guttural low.
He's like, "Hey, I'm Ryan Mason."
Yes. It's a kind of movie style thing. Yeah. And so players are shit scared of him. That could work.
That would be sweet. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
In that dressing room then when they think you're going to get ripped apart.
Yeah. Yep. Guys, look, Ellie's here. She said, "You're still going, Call? Lovely. I've had a bath, washed my hair, cooked dinner, and now I'm back in." Is that Kuva Bear I spy? It is Kuva Bear. It is. Well, no, wait. We're going to call him Kuva Lion today. Not Kuva Bear.
Kuva Bear's fine. Bears are pretty powerful. See, Lion's too much effort.
Yeah.
Or is it? No, I don't know. Lie under the tree all day, have your meal brought to you. Yeah, I'll go with lion.
Yeah, the females do all the hunting and stuff. You
Yeah,
good.
that's true. That's true.
Yeah, lady lions. Big up to the lady lions out there feeding all the other lions. We see you. We appreciate you. Yeah, so Potato Stew pointed out mistake. It was amazing, but overachieved. Yeah, mistake was the wrong word, my man. Hotspur Hood says, with me, he's got 6 months next season where I want him to adapt small parts in certain games. Also, not waiting until we were 3-0 down to make subs. Boom. I'm just trying to get through these last comments before we jump out of here. Unfortunately,
yeah. I think that one's fair as well. I'd say 6 months. Because you can see then if things are staying the same or we are making improvements. That's fair.
Absolutely, yeah, and more than fair, actually. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, people are agreeing they can't understand why he waited so long to make those subs versus Newcastle. Ellie is saying hi to everyone in the chat. Sorry,
my theory on waiting so long on the subs is just he's having a look at the character of players to see if they can respond.
Oh, okay.
He's got to know as much as he can about these players this season because we're looking to change the squad in the summer. It's the only reason I can see for it.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. I understood what you were saying there. So I am grabbing some links while I end this, but Kuva, everybody already knows. But if someone just happens to not, where can they find you when you're not jumping in my stream with me and I get you last second?
3 Spurs boys tomorrow evening with Bobby K, and we'll be talking serious football. Actually, talk football. Me and Bobby K. I managed it this stream.
We'll try. It's been good. Yeah.
I can do it. I just prefer not to.
I get it completely, man. Sometimes it's way more fun to just goof off and talk shit. Yeah.
If I could do that with both of us drunk off our tits right now, I would do it.
That would be awesome. That would be very cool. Someday I'm coming back. I'll be in England in less than 4 weeks. We gotta meet up. I would love to see you. That would be cool. We should plan something. But
if I'm mobile enough, there's a lot of people I've got to see up in London. So,
I know. Yeah.
I am not particularly well. I haven't been for a long time though. So
shit, Christ!
I'm just not. I don't get around very easily.
Well, maybe I'll pop by and see you.
Not if I see you first.
Good stuff. I like it. That was good.
Yeah, always welcome, mate. Always welcome.
Yeah. You called it spot on. Ange Spielberg is auditioning his players for the blockbuster movie next season. Yeah. Colin coming to Dorset, UK. Shit, I don't know where all I'm going, to be honest, but I'm landing in England or landing in London, and from there it's an adventure. Actually, from there it's England for a week, and then it's Amsterdam for a couple days, and then it's Ireland, and then it's England again, and then it's flying home. It's going to be a good one. So, Potato Stew, we should meet up and see each other. Well, I just want to meet everybody. But looks like he's not interested. Interesting. I just think that he's super chill and doesn't wear a lot of emotion on his face. Mr. Postcard.
You do see it at other times, though. He was shouting his lungs off at Sonny, wasn't he? He was not happy. So he will do it if it's things he definitely sees aren't right. My idea of that is when he's long periods of not saying much, he's just thinking. He's having a look at the player, thinking, is he what I'm looking for? I'll give him the chance. With Sonny, I think he knows exactly what he expects from Sonny. That's why he shouts at him.
That's a good point. No, that's a really good point. I'm so glad that he took Sonny off. To me, that just shows that his balls are humongous, and we need a manager with big old balls like that.
It's also the frustrating point about being a fan, isn't it? We do not know what the manager's thinking. We have to just guess at it.
Yeah, 100%. I absolutely agree. And it is hard. It's maddening. I wish there was some way that we could know more, but there just isn't. It's just not possible. They're not going to tell us. Yeah. Cool.
I'd love to see an all or nothing with Ange
for this season. Oh my God, me too. Or next, like you said, yeah. Just
next season would be the one.
Let's try.
The expectations are there. The expectations are there next season.
because he's called it. He's made them. He's made the expectations. He did it to himself. Well, I'll call up Amazon and see if they want to do that. If they want to pick that show up and do that. And
if they don't listen to you, I don't know who they'll listen to, mate.
Thank you. We'll just do the show ourselves if they won't do it. I got camera, cell phone. We'll just walk around with like our phones.
We'll just make shit up.
Cool. Be good stuff. But okay, really do got to go. Coobs, what? Any last words for the people today?
Chill out. Enjoy the rest of the season. Nothing really matters at this point. It's all about the summer. And come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs. Thank you. I also want to throw in the link. There's Kuva's link. I want to throw in the link to Chris, Meta Football, my other guest. There's his link. Jess, also our wonderful friend. I want to throw her link in. And I'm missing people, obviously. I can't get everybody's, but I'm going to get as many as I can. Jess's link is now in the chat. And then I'm going to put mine in because some shameless self-promotion. Never hurt anybody. Right? Or has shameless self-promotion ever hurt anybody, Kuva? I don't think so.
Depends if you end up getting killed for it, doesn't it?
True. Yeah. Jose might do it too. Hopefully he doesn't kill me for this. Ellie's saying she used to play with big balls. Love it. Good shit. Stu says, nah, never double down. I don't know what that's on. And then, yeah, so Chris, Meta Football, Jess or JSY Talks Football, Talking Ball Call, that's me. And then 3 Spurs Boys. Where did that one go? It's gone. Oh, and 3 Spurs Boys. That's where you can find Kuva. Let me put you on top of it. 3 Spurs Boys, Kuva, tomorrow night, football talk with Bobby K. Don't miss it. What time?
About 7:30 UK time.
About 7:30 UK time. Sweet. Awesome,
Never know
man.
with Bobby, though. We keep you on your toes.
Everybody, that means you just got to make sure you hit that bell so that you know that it informs you when they go live. But yeah, all right, Kuva. I'm going to close out with just my normal be good to yourself and be good to others. But you got anything you want to add?
No, already done it. Just chill out. Enjoy the season. It'll be over soon. Then the summer is the interesting bit where we know where we're going to go.
I love it. I got something special for the people today. The video is gone. I haven't put the slideshow back together yet, but the James Madison song had gotten deleted, and everyone was sad. It was an accidental thing. Well, guys, I found the audio today, so I'm going to close this out with the James Madison song. So, put this up here. Let me get this comment out of the way, and then this banner out of the way. And then we've got who? It's time to play the song out. See you, Kuva. Well, I mean, I'll see you in a second, but here we go. Bye, everybody.
Has it started yet?
Yes. Can you hear it?
Yeah, I'll mute myself then.
Okay.
My team has got James Madison. James Madison is what we need. Whoa, thank God we got James Madison. This kid plays ball like you would never believe.